America listens to. WVON, Berwyn, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
You know, I heard President Trump say he may withdraw the nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General. Yeah, right. I don't think that's going to happen. We will see Haley Vaughn in the studio. Hey, can we get a camera on this woman? Haley Vaughn is here on a Thursday. How you doing, sister?
I'm doing great.
Hello,
I'm doing
sister.
well. Happy to be back.
Happy, what is today? Thursday.
Thursday. Happy Thursday. I haven't seen you since the conference.
That's right. What was it, NAACP?
Yep, last week.
We're going to be out there tomorrow. In fact, we're going to be at McCormick Place for the Black Women's Expo.
Nice.
Yeah. Mary Green and her production. We're going to be doing our thing out there tomorrow.
Such a great event.
It is a good event.
Always, every year.
It is a good event. We're going to have Mary on. We're going to kick it off and get everything going. So that should be a lot of fun. And this weekend, I encourage all of you. In fact, I've got to be there Saturday morning for a forum on black restaurants. This should be interesting. And we're going to, Sonia, we're interviewing some of the panelists. When, tomorrow at the expo? Okay. So it's going to be some of the black restaurants. Here's Matt to the rescue to get that camera on. Haley, everybody knows how I look, right? They don't want to see me. Anyway, so we're going to be talking to them about, here's the conversation, guys. We have a lot of conversations about supporting black-owned businesses. We have a lot of conversations about supporting black-owned restaurants, and there are a lot of black restaurants in existence today. Look, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, people be like, hey, man, where can I get the best soul food in Chicago? We'd have been saying the same places. We'd have been saying go to MacArthur's, go to Pearl's Place, right? We might have been saying St. Rez on 87th or wherever, but we'd have been saying a handful of places. Today you have place after place after place after place after place. There are restaurants. Now, a lot of that, now guys, now check this out. You want to know what the reason behind that is? You can switch chairs, though, just because one of those other chairs may fit. You want to know what the reason behind that is? Because we've had black mayors. And you've had two black mayors in a row. We've had Lori Lightfoot and we've had Brandon Johnson. And they freed up grant money. That helps these black restaurants defray some of the opening cost, and they get the restaurant open. So today you can talk about Soul Vibe, Soleil, Parish 14 Parish, Cleo's. What's the one on in Hyde Park on 56? That 14 Parish owns.
Oh yeah.
That one.
Wait, why am I? That's crazy.
I'm drawing a blank too.
It's because we're talking about.
And because I go there,
Me
so I
too.
love the place.
Me too. Give me a minute.
What-
I gotta hear myself think.
Wait,
first.
wait a minute.
No,
Dawn.
this is bad. Oh no, I wasn't thinking about Dawn.
Dawn, which is across the street from the park, the Museum of Science and Industry.
Wow, this is bugging.
It's not whatever. Oh, then you got the one. There's one on 55th over there by Trader Joe's. My guy Magic, he's over there. I mean, there are black-owned restaurants all over the city of Chicago. You got Park Place, Tory Barrett's joint, right? We got NAFC and South Shore Cultural Center. Cultural Club. I keep saying
Virtue.
Virtue.
Duh.
Got Virtue, right? That's what you think, right?
I was
Duh.
right.
Duh. How the hell you forget Virtue?
Right.
Duh. Anyway, so I mean, the reason why you have a lot of black-owned restaurants now is because of representation. When I say representation matters, having a black mayor matters. We've had 2 black mayors in a row, and you've seen the growth of black-owned restaurants around the city of Chicago. Like I said, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, if somebody would have came to Chicago and had been like, hey, wish I go get some good soul food, you'd have been saying MacArthur's.
Definitely.
Right? Am I lying? You said
No.
Pearl's Place. And you'd have been like, let's see, where else, man, can I say? Man, you know, we don't have a lot of places. That's what you would have been saying.
Yep.
And now you can be like, go to Dawn, go to Virtue, go to any place. Soul Vibes. There are several Soul Vibes open.
Yeah.
There's more than one Soul.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Funny story. MacArthur's was like my little fake death row meal when I was like 12 years old. I was getting my tonsils out.
Oh, Lord.
And, you know, you're not going to be able to eat solids for a while. So my mom goes,
right.
Haley, what do you want to eat tonight for dinner before
final
you got it
meal.
right? The final meal.
Little
MacArthur's.
MacArthur. You were like MacArthur. a little 12-year-old
Right.
Haley knew
Yeah.
about MacArthur.
Exactly. So that's where we went.
You went and got you some soul food. I went to MacArthur's. This was about 15, maybe 20 years ago, with Faison Love, the actor. He was in town, and he did the show with me, and he did the morning show with me. And he was like, man, I got to go, you know, again, where can I go get some soul food? I
Yeah.
want some Chicago soul food. So I was like, MacArthur's on the west side, you know, and his people didn't know about it or how to get there, anything. So, oh, man, how we going to get there? I was like, dude, y'all can roll with me. I'll come and get you. I'll pick you up from the hotel. I'm
Right.
trying to think what car I had. I think I had my Avalon, which was
Yeah.
a beast. Toyota Avalon. Woo!
The Avalons were huge.
That huge, and it floated. That car floated. Smoothest ride I ever had been in a car, right? So I think I picked him up, and somebody else went with us, though, from WVON, because we shot a video. I got it. I'll show it to you, too.
Wow.
And we were out there, man, and just had so much fun going. But I had to take him all the way to MacArthur's. You see what I'm
Well,
saying?
right. You know, West Side is all the way if you're from the South Side. If you're, you know.
I mean, I
it
could have took
depends
him.
on your frame of reference.
And he was staying downtown, so it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were going super far.
Right.
But anyway, all right, let's take a break here. Titus is on the board. We got a remote broadcast happening later on today. The afternoon show is going to be out there. I'll tell you all about that. Some things to chop up include President Trump says he's going to take Todd Blanche. He's threatening to take the nomination of Todd Blanche for Attorney General. I'm like, yeah, right. Okay, right, whatever. We'll see. John Cornyn is kind of holding up the confirmation process. But we'll see. I think they're all going to cave in to Trump. That's my guess. But anyway, Titus running the board for the time being. It looks like Kayla's doing news until 1 o'clock, and then Logan will be in after that. And, of course, phone lines are open at 591-1690. Matt McGill Show. Get up on it, everybody.
Coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Tylerman International Social Awareness Film Festival is about more than movies. It's about raising the consciousness of the world by exploring injustice through art and creativity. Be there August 1st and 2nd for the 8th annual Tylerman International Social Awareness Film Festival at Cantini Park on Winfield Road in Wheaton. Enjoy over 30 films in 2 days. Meet this year's Amir Locke Saving the Youth Award recipient Christopher Paul Horn of Unheard Voices. When a 17-year-old is sentenced to 40 years in a Texas prison for a robbery committed with a toy gun, his mother Tasha Mills is shackled shattered. Watch this special screening, then join the mother and the film's director as they discuss this powerful movie, her best-selling memoir, and the latest on her son's case. Enjoy this year's films and lively panel discussions happening all day Saturday and Sunday, August 1st and 2nd at the Tyler Mann International Social Awareness Film Festival at Cantini Park on Winfield Road in Wheaton. The event is free, but donations are welcome. Visit TylerMannFilms.com for more info. For vendor information, call Andrew Tyler at 651-756-0184.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
In July, VON TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, with dun 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 dun, and be like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law & Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on VON TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.tv. VON TV, for the culture, by the culture.
See something suspicious? Say something. OEMC has your back. Pick up your phone and call 911 for police or fire. Enjoy the festival safely. Keep Chicago safe.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It's Rufus Williams.
Chris, good morning. Welcome to VON.
Ain't no jive on the morning drive with Rufus Williams. Thank you, brother.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
So we're supposed to have a guest coming on, but I guess they are not coming on. But if they decide to come on, the phone may ring. If it rings, ding, our hotline our guest hotline. If it rings, we'll take them on, Haley. You got your rundown? Yeah, you got one over there.
Yep.
So Reverend Mitchell Johnson, perhaps, maybe calling in. Oh, you know what I saw on social media yesterday, and it was kind of sad.
What'd you
Did
see?
you see Gladys Knight? You know, these videos have been going viral of her. I guess she performed at the Hollywood Bowl.
Okay.
You know the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh, I know the Hollywood Bowl.
Yeah.
It's a huge, huge.
I lived around the corner.
Huge.
I lived.
Yeah, it's a mammoth venue.
I shouldn't say around the corner.
Yeah.
I lived down the street.
Okay, so you were in Hollywood.
Yeah, I lived.
All right.
I lived on a street called Sycamore, which is right off of La Brea.
Okay, we did discuss
Yeah.
this. Yep.
And Franklin.
I know where you were.
So,
I know right where you were.
You know where Franklin is?
I used to take Franklin.
You know where Highland is?
Yes.
So, you know, Franklin and Highland. Hollywood Bowl is like up Highland.
Yeah.
I think you go straight up Highland before you get on the highway. And
Yep, it is.
Right,
It is. It's
exactly.
right over there.
It's right over in that area, right?
Because I was on 6th Street in between La Brea and Fairfax.
Yeah.
So it was
Okay.
nothing
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me. That was only 10, 15 minutes
Yeah.
away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she was at the Hollywood Bowl, I guess recently, man, and it's all these videos of her where, you know, her background singers were doing all the singing. It seemed like she was a little disoriented or something like that.
You know.
And she's like 82 years old, and it's like,
I mean, hey, if you can still get on stage at 82 years old, I mean, now, mind you, people would probably make the argument people are paying good money for these tickets, et cetera. But also, you know, I feel like if you're paying to see legends at an elderly age or an older age, I should say, know that they might show up differently than, you know, the person with the physical capacity or the rigor or even the vocals that you remember. I mean, I think it can feel disappointing, but it's realistic.
I think people that were going to see Frankie Beverly and Maze.
Right. And
in the last several years, kind of understood that Frankie was going to be doing this, joy and pain, and then he's going to be taking the microphone and doing this, letting everybody else sing the rest of the song.
Yeah.
You know,
I saw him in 2019 or 2018 at Essence Fest.
Yeah.
And he was great, but again, that was almost 10 years ago.
But he's letting the crowd finish the songs.
Yes.
You know, Frankie would be up there, you know, he'll be singing, like I said, happy feeling.
Right.
And then he
pause.
Right. He put the mic out to the crowd. The crowd will start singing in the air.
And luckily these are songs that everyone knows the words to.
That's all Frankie Beverly concert was.
You know,
it was just everybody coming to sing.
Yeah, to sing together.
Sing along.
Which is nice.
Right. Well, I mean, especially in the summertime, right? I remember Frankie coming to Taste of Chicago and Grant Park, right? And, you know, his thing was he wore all white, you know, at his concert.
Always,
so everybody came in all white.
Yep.
And this had to be about 15 years ago, at least maybe 20 years ago, Haley, before you were born.
When I was 12.
12-year-old little Haley getting her tonsils.
When I was requesting my MacArthur's.
Getting her tonsils taken out. And it was such, I got a picture of me and Mia out there, man. And it was such a good vibe. Everybody is out there in their white picnic tables. It's like Ravinia. When we talk about everybody go out to Ravinia this summer. The vibe out of Ravinia is just like this mature crowd.
Yeah.
Everybody's out there to
love
chill.
Ravinia.
They've got the picnic tables. Everybody's got their little setup, food, drinks. It's a community.
Right, the citronella candles.
Citronella candles. You're going by and somebody's table and they got a drink. Man, check this drink out I got. Everybody's vibing. That's how Frankie Beverly was when he used to come to Chicago, Grant Park. In fact, man, it seemed like for a couple of summers, they were having Frankie damn near every year out there because they knew that, you know,
it was going to bring everybody
and
out.
he was bringing a crowd that wasn't going to be riffraff.
Right.
You ain't got to worry about somebody getting shot.
No,
you ain't got to worry about a fight breaking out or anything like that, right? But I remember last time I saw him, we were out there in Grant Park, and just a beautiful summer day, evening, you know, Taste of Chicago around the 4th of July. Everybody's wearing white, and we're just out there chilling.
Yeah.
He was still singing, doing most of the singing still then. And everybody, you know, like I said, they're just out there like joy and rain. You know, it's a sing-along.
And in those environments, it's half social as well. So you're probably like, obviously you want the concert experience, but It's not like Hollywood Bowl when you are parked in your seat, facing forward. You kind of are feeling leisurely anyway.
So here's what happens though. Like what used to happen at Taste of Chicago and Grant Park back in the day, right? So I'll use the Frankie Beverly concert as an example, right? So the VIPs, right, people that are connected with the city and have all the contacts, which I had because of WVON. They were giving me VIP tickets. You could sit in the front in the seats. So if you look where the band shell is, the closest seats,
yes, you can.
They got those seats. They got those seats up
Absolutely,
there, right? But the vibe is out in the crowd.
Oh yeah, that's where you want to be. You want to be in the grass.
Vibe is out, right?
Right.
Everybody that's chilling, the good time is out.
Exactly.
Drinks. See, in that VIP area, you got to go buy your drinks, or if they got drinks, you got to go and do whatever.
Too much
Get in the line. Out there, you chilling. Everybody's got their own concoction.
I agree.
And doing it just flowing out there. You want to be out there, and that's how it was. All right, 12:30. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Haley and I are going to talk about something when we return. 591-1690. We'll open up phone lines. We got a lot going on this Thursday, of course. And also, man, we've lost a couple of brothers. I do want to talk about that. Tim Bankston, former Simeon High School basketball player. I don't know, Titus, if you know this story. I'm just kind of saw it this morning. Must have happened yesterday or the day before. He was shot and killed.
Wow.
On the south side of Chicago. A lot of us in the same age as Tim know him when he played at Simeon, and just great state. I think they had a state championship team. I think he might have played with Benji there. And he passed away. And one of our freedom fighters, Will Crosby, passed away. I saw that on social. You remember Will Crosby? Yeah, man. Will would call into the show. He'd get on Facebook Live, and he did not play around. Well, look, Will used to get in my butt, man. When I first started, he would get on me. But Will has made his peaceful transition. And I do want to talk about that a little bit, about, what people like Will Crosby brought to our community and to this radio station, or maybe I should say to me as a radio host here on WVON. 591-1690 is the number to call. Don't go anywhere. Caleb Patton has WVON News coming up right now.
Sunny and humid today with a high of 87. Good afternoon. I'm Caleb Patton, and here's what's happening. Today, Attorney Benjamin Crump, along with National Urban League President Mark Morial, recently concluded a press conference regarding the Mississippi 18-year-old Nolan Wells. His parents were among the speakers, and his mother spoke of getting negative reviews on her social media in the midst of advocating for her late son. Attorney Benjamin Crump adamantly defended her, and he made an offer for anyone who comes up with more information. Well, the Black Women's Expo kicks off tomorrow. It returns to McCormick Place July 31st through August 2nd. The iconic expo is designed by and for Black women, but everyone's invited. At 2:30, WVON CEO Melody Span Cooper will hold an exclusive one-on-one interview with Emmy-winning journalist, best-selling author, and political commentator Joy Reid. These two powerful women will discuss politics, culture, and critical issues affecting the country. WVON will also be broadcasting live from noon to 6 p.m., so stop by and meet WVON's Matt McGill and Ken Duncan, and to cap off the weekend on Sunday with a meaningful panel discussion on mental health, moderated by WVON's LaDonna Ray. Hundreds of thousands are expected to attend this iconic conference, and tickets are now on sale at bwenext.com. Lots happening at the Board of Education, where Chicago Public Schools are voting for a budget. The Chicago Teachers Union wants it voted down, and I was out there talking to union members today who are holding a rally outside of the Board of Education. They were there beating their drums, chanting, and calling for fairer budgets.
Explain why you're out here protesting and what changes you want to see happen.
Well, my name is Ivory Pierre, and I work at Marquette Elementary School, and today we're out here protesting for a fair contract, more money, better staffing, for us to be treated with dignity, respect, to be able to, continue to feed the kids of Chicago, continue to, be able to feed our families.
The district is facing a $732 million deficit, and the Chicago Teachers Unions want lawmakers in Springfield to call a special session. Well, the search for a new Chicago police superintendent has hit a possible delay. Community Commission for the Public Safety and Accountability member Anthony Driver believes the November 12th nationwide deadline is too soon to select from the strongest pool of possible candidates to replace Larry Snelling.
at this timeline, they're scheduled to vote in February. So people who are of high prestige or who can do the job will be applying for something without knowing if they're actually going to be accepted by whoever the person is in that seat.
Driver has requested that the city council hold off the search until spring, which is after residents vote for mayor. And detectives are investigating the shooting death of former Simeon basketball star and Thornton Fractional North coach Tim Bankston. Perry Williams reports.
Bankston's sister says his body was found yesterday morning in one of his friend's home on 77th and Emerald.
The hours that he laid there without someone knowing that he was there was probably the nail in his coffin.
Bankston is known as a basketball legend in Chicago. He led Simeon High School to the state basketball title in 1984. No one is in custody. I'm Perry Williams.
And for all my sports fans, the Chicago Bears will hold day 2 of its training camp today in Lake Forest. Quarterback Caleb Williams says he has a strategy to achieve head coach Ben Johnson's goal of a 70% passer completion average. Williams says that he's lost up to 15 pounds to be more agile both inside the pocket and when he breaks loose. Well, that's a look at our news now on 1690 WVON. I'm Kayla Patton.
This summer, experience live music under the stars at Ravinia, everybody. Gladys Knight, Brian McKnight are going to headline, and they'll be joined by Chance the Rapper, and a special opening night gala performance featuring Lizzo with the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. See great performances all season long, from legendary voices to hometown favorites. Ravinia brings unforgettable sounds to the summer stage. Get your tickets now at ravinia.org.
Hey, Alexa, play WVON 1690 AM.
Getting WVON 1690 AM station from iHeartRadio.
Try it out for yourself. America is listening to WVON. It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Come on, Stevie Wonder. And speaking about somebody getting older, Stevie ain't losing it.
Oh,
man.
He at the event for the Obamas, for the Presidential Center, he was serenading the crowd.
Okay.
He took the mic.
Okay.
Inspirational, all that. He was fantastic.
If y'all don't remember, Haley was at the A-list party. She got the invite that only like about 50 people got. It was a small group. She's hanging out with Dave Chappelle.
I was working and socializing.
Was D.L. Hughley there?
You know, he might have been, because again, it was a lot of people that I wasn't able to quite identify.
You know, DL, man, look, DL.
I follow him on Instagram, and he's active.
Woo! DL ain't playing around.
Oh, at all.
We get DL, so every morning DL comes on here from what time, Titus? 6 to 7? From 5 to 7, so we get 2 hours. They edit up his show from the day before. DL's the goods, man.
Oh yeah, I love his
stuff. He don't play around.
Yeah,
he's well researched, so he's got a good team of producers or whoever or some. All it takes is somebody. You don't even have to have a team. Just have one person that's on it and that's setting
running
you up.
his socials or whatever.
But you can tell the way that he comes off. He's in to it.
He's
too.
in the know. Yeah.
He ain't playing around. It ain't just somebody feeding him information.
Right. And he's not, just talking to talk, rage bait, using his platform for nonsense. He is using his voice, I feel like, in a way that a lot of more celebrities could, to spread real news to their audiences.
And it's interesting because, here's a guy that we all grew up knowing, or not, I shouldn't say grew up. but all our adult lives, we knew you grew up knowing him as a comedian, right? This guy, you know, he's one of the kings of comedy. Wasn't DL part of the kings of comedy? Yeah. Who was it? Bernie, Steve Harvey, DL said the entertainer, right? So here's a guy who's really transitioned. I remember he had the show on CNN. CNN gave him a show. And it was kind of, I think these shows, CNN tries to lighten up the news, and they have these shows. So they gave DL an opportunity to do it, and it was kind of so. Now they've got this other show with Roy Wood Jr. and other, and it's kind of like, okay, I don't know. So CNN, I'll give them credit for trying to not like be serious CNN all the time, and they try to lighten it up with a comedic spin on news.
On the news, right.
Making fun of the news. Kind of like satire, but not really completely satire. But DL kind of got into that lane first. Don't y'all remember? You remember that, Titus? DL had a show on CNN. So that was the first space where we saw him kind of like getting into these news topics. And he just kind of hung in there with it. And I think he's good now, y'all. I think DL is on top of it, man.
He's hitting his stride. I feel like in this kind of like... I think he's just painting another narrative of the way we view him outside of his, long career as a comedian.
So now he went after, I saw today or either last night, he went after this brother. Do y'all know
Officer Tatum?
Officer Tatum. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
He went in on.
I've seen it. I've been just following.
Who is Officer Tatum, though?
I was not hip to him until like last week. I have only become hip to him as it relates to the Nolan Wells case.
Okay.
But my understanding, I don't know his background. I believe he's not an actual officer. I think he's a self-proclaimed officer, which is even more pathetic. But he is kind of rage bait, known to be leaning conservative. He's a black man, but is, I think what many would accuse of being, a tool for the other side, to euphemize. We all know what we would call it, but he had one of the quote unquote friends that is heavily involved, that was on the boat, one of the kind of ringleaders of this whole Nolan Wells situation. He did an exclusive interview with him, which was rich because they weren't talking to anybody. So the fact that this kid was even willing to sit down with Officer Tatum was a red flag, because, you're giving it to this particular creator who has a certain angle on the way he shares his topics. He's conservative, etc. Certainly. Alone. And of course he has not.
Right. And you know what's crazy about it too is DL was saying, dude, there's a reason why they chose you to do an interview with.
Absolutely.
Because you are safe.
Yeah.
You are a safe Negro to them.
And they think they're going to get extra points.
Right. They already know that you're going to give them the safe landing.
What they want.
Right. And because you've proven to be this person who really does not go to bat for black people, right? You kind of exist in this space where you make white people comfortable. What you saying, Titus? Titus is sending me a message.
I found an audio that he did yesterday.
Yeah, do it. Play it real quick. The DL. This is the DL clip. All right, so DL, this is the clip you and I are talking about where he kind of goes in. First, Tatum kind of goes off on DL, right? You know, you're not funny, da-da-da-da-da-da, boom, 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 all this. And then DL kind of responds to it like this. Here it is, y'all.
This is Brandon Tatum.
Y'all just see what unfunny ex-comedian D.L. Hughley just said about me. Posted a picture of me and my wife. To do what? To be a racist? You are the lamest dude in all of comedy.
What is more lame than calling yourself the job you used to have? You're not an officer anymore. You were a football player who failed at being a football player. You didn't make the team, so you became an officer. That wasn't working out, so you became an influencer. You talked about emotion. What is more emotional than this?
The word.
You cried for a white dude who the people didn't even think you worthy to speak at his funeral. You said you wouldn't cry for your son, but you cried for him. That's not emotion? You talked of the way Benjamin Crump talks.
Just want to blame white folks. And so I go out there because I know that lame Al Sharpton and Mr. I Can't Read, Benjamin Crump, is just race hustling, y'all.
You talked about how those boys are innocent. You had proof. Now, I don't know whether they're innocent or not. I don't know what happened there. But I know one conversation with a failed football player and a social media influencer is not the predicate. You don't have any toxicology report. You don't have an autopsy report. You talked about black people acting a fool. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that took 31 years and 3 trials to prosecute and find guilty the murder of Medgar Evers. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that in 2005 found 215 black people that were dead and buried in a pauper's grave and nobody knew they were there. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that just killed a 1-year-old boy and nobody's being brought to account about. Black people are right to be suspicious of a state that has been poisoning black people with the water since the 1960s. Black people didn't look for this fight. They want justice. All they want is accountability. And if it's those boys, it should be that. Nobody has a predetermined notion. I don't know what happened. But if you're saying that Al Sharpton and that Benjamin Crump are on one side, you're certainly on the other. You talk to them for 2 days and now all of a sudden you know if they're guilty. You know if they're innocent. You know that. Your name is, your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum. You didn't make your way to detective. You're an influencer who says what white people want you to say. And don't you find it interesting that they chose to speak to you, and they chose to speak to you for the same reason that you're a conservative, for the same reason Turning Point did, because you're safe. They know you're a black man who'll do what he's told. You're an unremarkable black man who they know they can count on to be obedient. They pick you for the same reason they pick dogs. What is very interesting to me is this is Nancy Grace.
I left to believe that he goes out swimming all on his own, and the friend girl leaves, the mates from school leave, everybody just leaves him out in the water and he dies.
Now, Nancy Grace is a career prosecutor. She has tried 100 felony trials, 100, and not lost one. And she thinks that's something suspicious. But the social media influencer who failed at football and was a mediocre cop all of a sudden knows more than that? I don't know what happened. You don't know what happened. But I do know this. You said that a young woman with a pot of water acted so suspiciously that she should be shot by cops.
I think that this is justified, but it could have been avoided, but still justified. You can't throw boiling water on a police officer and not get shot.
But you don't think people that were on a boat with somebody, in proximity to somebody, and that person comes that day acting so suspicious, they should be questioned? That's who you are. Debate you for what? What you are is what the people before you, you're Diamond and Silk, you're Candace Owens, you're Stacey Dash, you're that. And your career will age like avocados, because that's what they do. There'll be somebody else that replaces you. I've been around for 40 years doing what I do, and you still know my name. You know how I got to know yours? Somebody sent me a coon alert. They said, and you fit the bill. I don't know who you are, but I know what you are. I know what you do because I've seen people like you in my entire life. You can assail my career, but my career is longer than your life. You mentioned my name, and I have no idea who you are. But I do know this, that one day, when all of this is done, and it'll be after the next election cycle, when people are wondering who you are, when you go the way of the Larry Elders, or the Sheriff Clarks, or the Candace Owens, or the Diamond and Silks, or the Stacey Dashes, or the Armstrong, like all of them, when you're there with them and you're wondering what happened, it's because you sold your soul for nothing.
Let me just say this. I know people going to clip this and get
Man,
that.
I tell you. That is how you just put somebody in their place and let them know there's nothing else you can, you know what I'm saying? There's no way this brother, and I'm like DL. I don't think your mic is on. Titus, get Haley's mic on for me. I don't know Tatum either. I'm like DL.
Yeah.
I never heard of him either before this, right?
Yep.
But we'll respond to that. Wow.
A good read.
I can't. I'm trying.
Snatched his wig from
I
the
didn't
roots.
have my pen to write down all the one-liners.
Oh yeah.
That DL gave you there. You say what white people want you to say.
Right.
You do it. You're like their
kick
dog.
you like a dog.
They use you like a dog. You do what you're told to do.
Right.
Damn,
He got
dude.
his coon alert.
Man, DL had zinger after zinger after
That
zinger.
was a good one.
In that clip. All right, we'll be right back on the Matt McGill Show.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Chicago officially has the worst traffic in the country. Get out of gridlock with Metra. With our 95% on-time rate, we eliminate the stress of driving and get you where you're going quickly, comfortably, and safely. Metra. Drive less. Do more.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey. I tell you what, man, I didn't have my pen with me to write down the one-liners. One, he said, your moniker is Officer Tatum, not Detective Tatum.
Uh-huh.
He said what you are an unremarkable black man. I got
Right.
that one. I'm trying to write all of these down.
They trust you because you're safe and you do what you're told.
Yeah, trust you because you're safe and you like a dog.
Like
right?
a dog. They
do.
kick you like they kick their dog. And you think you know more than Nancy Grace, who's tried 100+ cases and hasn't lost one.
And she's suspicious of
but
the
look,
story.
Nancy is on the case.
And here's Nancy
she's
Grace,
not playing around.
A white woman from the South.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Here's a white woman from the South who's questioning these dudes. Logan,
Mm-hmm.
who's questioning these dudes, and you're up here defending them. And here's a white woman from the South, Nancy Grace, is saying something don't smell right.
Yeah.
So basically what DL is doing is letting you know how lame you are.
Exactly.
He
And
said,
not to be validated, not to be really paid attention to, but he's tried.
He said, you are safe. What else did he say? My career is longer than your life.
Yeah, you know my name after 40 years. I just found out your name because you're a failed NFL player, failed police officer.
Right.
And you're still going by the title of your failed job that you didn't even do well.
Now, the only problem I have with what he said, what DL said, is he was lumping him in the category with other black conservatives, right?
Stacey Dash, Candace Owens.
I wouldn't include on that list. I wouldn't necessarily include Armstrong Williams, Larry Elder, and Candace Owens, right? Now,
Candace Owens,
Diamond and
there
Silk,
could be an argument made.
There could be an argument there, but I would say Diamond and Silk, and this guy, he's more a lack of substance. I mean, you can disagree with Candace Owens, but Candace is smart.
Yeah.
You know she's
smart and she's,
Right.
but again, I
This
think that was
guy's
his
not-
point, though, that you're going to look up one day and you're going to be so ostracized, which
and I
Candace
get that.
has been, and she's trying to dial it back, and I don't think it's really going to work.
Yeah, but I think my point, Haley, is at the end of the day, you can
Yeah.
disagree with Larry Elder, Armstrong Williams, and Candace Owens, but at least you can see, like, all right, they're educated, they went
Right,
to college, they're
right, they're
graduates.
credentialed.
Armstrong
Exactly.
Williams is a journalist.
Right.
We just disagree with their politics and their
Right.
political
They've
stances.
earned their right to speak on
They
their
they
opinion,
are they
yeah.
are highly
Mhm.
intelligent people.
True.
But we disagree with their political stance. This dude is like Stacey Dash and Diamond and Silk.
Yeah.
There's
he's-
no credible like intellectual
Correct.
history
Correct.
that should validate the platform or the audience that I guess he has. I
Yep.
don't know, for
Mhm.
him to even get an interview like that. When you have the Nancy Graces, when you have the Joy Reeds,
Yeah.
when
But
you
I-
have legitimate journalists out here,
Mhm.
if these kids wanted to come out and talk,
Yeah.
they could go to somebody legitimate.
No, they didn't want to talk, though. And they took the bait. And I think this is the problem that we've seen when we see the Republican Party or we see MAGA put forth their, black, servant population, which is, here's our designated black. And, he's going to reiterate, he's going to say in a way that is agreeable, etc. And this will be our way in to, change the minds or appear to have a point of relatability for the community. But the only people are falling for that. I don't know who's falling for it actually, but some people maybe, but it hasn't gotten far, and everyone else, especially within the black community, can sniff it out as disingenuous and it's lame, and it's a tool of this person to win favor in white society or white community or MAGA conservative community. This is for him to win favor for the people.
I'll say this. Candace Owens has turned on Donald Trump.
Yes, she has. That's what that's what I was referring to.
You're referring to that.
Yeah.
She has turned on Donald.
She has,
Right.
but 10 years a little late.
Yeah, maybe, but still though.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
I mean, hey, right.
You got to give her credit for at least saying, hey, this guy said.
Right, for
I
speaking
fell,
out.
And she's even admitting, I
She
fell
has.
for his America First agenda, and he's not doing it, so I'm turning on him.
Right.
He didn't do what he said, so I'm done.
Yeah. I think it's fine, and I think people acknowledge that, but I just think that, you can accept, or you can.
I get that part, man, but I think I think I would not include. I have a little bit of a problem putting Tatum in the category with, because Armstrong Williams, as much as I used to want to strangle that guy, he is a journalist, right? Larry Elder, again, man, look, I used to just totally detest everything that Larry Elder would say on his show. I interviewed the guy. He wrote a book about his father. He could not have been nicer. And a more intelligent, just back and forth conversation about him growing up and the influence his father had on his life. You know what I'm saying? Just a real thoughtful.
Totally, yeah.
I disagree with you politically,
Right,
brother.
right, but you're not a
common
low
humanity,
substance, right,
exactly.
low quality, right.
This dude
exactly.
is
this
low
is
quality.
low quality.
Yes.
As DL said, basic and mediocre, or whatever, however he put it.
Whatever he said, DL. I'm still trying to remember
Read
these
him
lines.
for filth, as we would say.
Susan, Al, you guys hold on. Your calls are coming up next. Logan's here, and she's got news coming your way.
Happy Thursday afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Mayor Johnson signs executive order on guns. CPS budget vote underway at Chicago headquarters. Red Cross declares blood supply crisis, and Trump unveils Freedom Haulers initiative. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Maryland has recorded 38 heat-related deaths so far this summer. That's 2 more than last year's total of 36. The Maryland Department of Health says the recent heat wave, with temperatures reaching more than 100 degrees, contributed to the number of deaths. Reports indicate Iran is receiving up to 400 handheld missile launchers from China. Reuters says Iran purchased shoulder-fired air defense systems along with Chinese missiles for about $70 million. They're expected to receive the first shipment within weeks. However, China's foreign ministry calls the report completely groundless. And R&B singer Ciara announced she's giving $50,000 to 10 different groups that play important roles in the development of youth. Those include the Atlanta Music Project, SCAD, and the Black Entertainment and Sports Lawyer Association. I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, back to you, Terry.
President Trump is pretty tight-lipped about whether Dr. Anthony Fauci should face a contempt of Congress vote in the Senate. Republican Senator Rand Paul said the Homeland Security Committee is voting on a contempt resolution against Fauci next week after he invoked the Fifth Amendment. In a COVID-19 hearing, Trump was asked about the vote, but would only say Fauci didn't do him any favors in the early days of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Trump discussing retaliatory strikes against Iran.
They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but, they tried shooting it last night.
While speaking with reporters in the Oval Office, Trump was asked about Iran's ballistic missile attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. U.S. Central Command said all of the missiles were successfully intercepted. Trump said the U.S. is set to hit Iran very hard in response. Trump said Iran knows it's coming, adding it's our turn. Trump again held out hope that diplomatic efforts will prevail. Black Republican Congressman John James is running to become Michigan's next governor. James is campaigning across the state and talked about being called to the stage by President Trump during his visit to the GM Proving Ground in Milford.
But he endorsed me because he knows I've got the best chance to beat Secretary Jocelyn Benson in November and help Republicans hold Michigan House. and take back the Senate. And having a relationship with the president like I have is going to help us all, the entire state, all 10 million of us.
James making campaign stops over the weekend in Grand Rapids, Holland, Hudsonville, Muskegon, and Zeeland. The Democratic candidates for governor are Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson. Sean Combs' release date has been moved up again. The music mogul's release from jail has been moved to January 24th of 2028. This is a month earlier than his previously expected release of February 23rd. Combs was previously sentenced to 50 months behind bars after his conviction on 2 prostitution charges back in October of 2025. His first release was originally scheduled for June of 2028. It all comes after Diddy was involved in a prison fight last week that ended with him in solitary confinement. The United Nations Security Council is unanimously adopting a resolution extending sanctions against armed militias and individuals operating in the Central African Republic. The action targets asset freezes, travel bans, and restrictions on supplying weapons and military equipment to armed groups. Council members are warning that armed groups and cross-border arms networks are a threat to stability, especially along border regions. The Central African Republic's ambassador to the UN is questioning how armed groups are consistently finding weapons despite the sanctions. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
It's Rufus Williams. The thrill of summer is finally here, which also means it'll be over before we know it. This fall, the Rufus Williams Travel Club is heading to Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Join me as we experience the beauty, the brilliance, and the culture of one of America's most captivating cities. We'll enjoy the charm of the Lowcountry, breathtaking scenery, incredible cuisine, and the rich African-American history of Charleston. There will also be a few special surprises designed just for our group. So whether you're traveling alone, with family, or with friends, you'll be welcomed into an unforgettable experience filled with great people and great memories. Space is limited, and the best rates are right now. Simply go to WVON.com, click on the Rufus Williams Travel Club banner, and reserve your space. Advantage International is the official travel partner of the Rufus Williams Travel Club. Charleston, South Carolina, October 8th through the 12th. Travel with people, travel with purpose, travel with us.
CTA is coming to WVON, Sundays 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
3 days, 3 phenomenal women, award-winning commentator Joy Reid, and the ultimate it girl Keke Palmer, and gospel's best Leandria Johnson, only at the Black Women's Expo, Friday, July 31st through Sunday, August 2nd at McCormick Place. Plus, live entertainment from the main stage featuring American Idol's Keela Richardson and the Los Angeles-based duo Shakespeare blending R&B, soul and pop, a house music party with DJ Celeste Alexander, and much more. Community, beauty, wellness, food, family fun, powerful conversations, and shopping all in one place. Half-price adult tickets at all Walgreens locations. Sponsored by University of Chicago Medicine, Humana, City Colleges of Chicago, Rush University Medical Center, and Vive Healthcare. Check out the lineup at www.bwenext.com for more details.
Hi, it's Melody Span Cooper. Join me at the Black Women's Expo this Friday at 2:30 p.m. as I interview entrepreneur, political podcaster, and author Joy Reid. See you at 2:30 on Friday.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berlin, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
All right, we are back. You know, I was with a friend of mine who's in town, and I was telling her yesterday. She was like, oh man, I went. You know, she was telling me about going to see the Michael movie, which I haven't seen it. Have you?
You still didn't see it?
No.
I think we talked about this when it came out.
Right.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And Jafar Jackson, he's like a diamond in the rough. Because
Yeah.
where has he been all these years? He was great.
Well, you know, it's a bunch of Jackson kids, though.
Yeah, that's
There's a
true.
bunch of the
but he
grandkids,
was
man.
like, he really took on that role.
Because think
in a
about
real
it.
way.
I think it's like 8 or 9 Jacksons, right? Reby, Jackie, Tito, Jermaine.
This is good trivia.
LaToya.
Name all the Jacksons. Yep.
Right? Michael, Marlon, Janet, Randy. That's 9.
All right, go ahead.
That's 9.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
from 9 is going to come grandchildren, right?
Of course, right.
So if they all have one grandchild apiece, that's 9 grandchildren.
Right.
But of course, they've had multiple
right. So
grandchildren.
Many
right.
a
There's
Jackson
many
grandchild.
Many a grandchildren
Yeah.
in the family.
But
right?
I mean, you're going to have to
So
see the
Jafar
movie to
just got-
understand
Right.
what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I think one of the main takeaways of the movie, even from people who were critical, was that Jafar really, in a way that people haven't seen before, kind of took over spiritually and physically an embodiment and like an aura completely of his uncle, where it was it was remarkable.
But I was telling my friend, which I've told the WVON
Yeah.
audience
Yeah.
often, man, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, I was with Michael Jackson for 2 days and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
And she was just like, what? I was like, yeah, you know.
Wow.
She was like, oh my, she's like, you have got to watch the movie, Matt.
Yeah.
You got to go see the movie.
Yeah, you do.
Because she's like, they focus on that part of his life when his hair caught on fire.
Were you with him?
Yes!
Wait, doing what?
Let me tell you this. I was with Michael Jackson for 2 days when the whole Pepsi commercial was being filmed, right?
Oh,
it was
wow.
It was a 2-day shoot, right?
Yeah.
So the first day was just a small group of people there, and they were shooting the one small little crowd scene where you see Tatiana. She kind of gets up and dances, and it's this other guy. So it's just they're showing a little compact crowd, right?
Yeah.
And it makes you feel like there's a
It's a
bunch
big-
of people,
right. It's
but
a
it's really
small
only
lens, right.
about like 50 to 70 people in the Shrine Auditorium, and they were shooting that scene, right? And then they shot the scene where the Jacksons run out onto stage. They shot a scene where they're in the dressing room. The next day was the big shoot where it's like the concert, da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
That's where
That's
his
when
hair,
the accident happened.
hair caught on fire. So it was 2 days. It was 2 days of shooting, right? So the first day,
Yeah.
so I was there, and I was working, and I got to call this guy, Ralph Nelson, who's a photographer. I snuck my way into the commercial. I knew about the commercial. A guy told me who was security. I was at the American Music Awards the week before, and the guy that was there, brother, who was a security guard, was like, "Hey, man, you coming to the Jackson's commercial next week?" I was like, "No, I don't know anything about it." "Yeah, man, it's gonna be Thursday and Friday. I'll be here. Just get because he assumed I was working."
Yeah.
Production
Yeah,
anyway. So he
yeah.
made the assumption that I was working
I
production.
see.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll see you there. I was like, oh, all right.
Right.
So I
I'm
showed
showing
up.
up.
And
Right.
and
Waiting
I
for someone
snuck
to tell you
my
no.
way around
Uh-huh.
and didn't know what
Yeah.
to do. I go down in the basement and I stumble across this guy who's the photographer. I start talking to him. And next thing I know, I'm upstairs asking the guy for credentials, and he gives me an all-access credential.
Yeah. You know, somehow that just doesn't surprise me.
And I come back downstairs, and I start hanging out with the photographer, and I'm working
Yeah.
with the photographer, just helping him, because I'm just like, dude, I'm here. I'm on set. I had no idea what was going on. I'm helping the photographer set up his lights and do all of this stuff. And the next thing I know, I'm walking into a dressing room without knowing it, and I walked right into Michael Jackson.
Wow.
I mean, literally, he and I almost like
Wow.
kissed each other. We just walked right. I pulled the
Yeah.
curtain back. He was coming out as I was going in, and we
Wow.
like literally were bumping into each other.
my
And then I
gosh.
tried to get out of his way. He tried to get out of my way. And then I tried to get back out of his way. He tried to get back out of my way. So we were going back and forth like this. And then
Yeah.
he just kind of did
Laughed,
this, like
yeah.
playfully
Yeah.
did this. We both laughed. I walked in the room, and I was like, that's Michael Jackson. Damn. And then I realized, oh, man, I am in the mix here. I didn't realize I was that in the mix. I
You
knew I
just
was
showed up, got your credentials, and walked into Michael Jackson.
the next thing
That's
I
old
know,
school.
I'm in the dressing room. I'm hanging. I'm with
You're
the
hanging
photographer.
out, right.
I'm working with this photographer who's telling me everything to do, and I'm just playing along with it like I know what I'm doing and stuff. And boom, and the Jacksons are with us. We took pictures of the Jacksons, all this stuff. Then we went upstairs and shot some parts of the commercial on the first day. To the point, I was there at 7 o'clock in the morning. This was about like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. At this point, I'm tired of seeing Michael. It's not a big deal anymore, right? So we were there until 10 o'clock at night. Shooting.
And it still hadn't happened yet by then?
No, this was just the first day of shooting.
Oh, I see.
I think I got there at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and we did not leave until 10 o'clock at night.
Wow. Yeah.
And Michael was there at least from 8 in the morning until 10 at night.
Yeah.
And all the Jacksons were.
Wow.
Michael was the last one to leave, and we left with him. Bill Bray, who's the guy that wears the hat. It was crazy, man.
Wow.
I was around him so long on that Thursday that I was like totally like tired of him.
You were besties for a day.
All right. I was like, Mike, man, hand me a bottle of water out the thanks, brother.
Wow.
To that point. And so the next day is when we got there the next day, and it was all like we were hanging out in the dressing room, and it was all like, all right, let's get ready for the shoot upstairs. We went upstairs. Crowd was piling into the Shrine Auditorium. I'm seeing friends of mine. They're like, dude, what are you doing on stage? You know, Tatiana was, she was like looking at me like, how did you get up
You're
there?
like, I'm here with Michael.
So Tatiana is the girl. She's the black girl from The Way You Make Me Feel video.
Oh, okay.
The real skinny, light-skinned black girl. Her and I went to Santa Monica College together.
Interesting.
And had 2 classes together.
Wow.
We were the only 2 black people in the class.
Well, Santa Monica College, I would think back then, was there a lot of, No,
there's a lot of black kids in there, though. No,
okay, because Santa Monica, even to this day, is not particularly
it wasn't. There was a
diverse.
We just happened in this class to be the only 2 black people, and we're both light-skinned. She's like, Tatiana looked whiter than me, okay? And I remember trying to shoot some game to her, and that girl wasn't giving me nothing. The whole time we're in this class together, I couldn't get I couldn't get out the batter's box. Tatiana was ignoring my ass. Ignoring me. Until our teacher had us do this exercise to audition for, he said, hey, look, we're going to do a newscast. It's real talk. We're going to do a newscast. Everybody's got to do a story, and we're going to videotape it. It's going to be like you're on the 10 o'clock news, and I'm going to have 2 anchors, da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to have a sports person, and I'm going to have you guys come in, and just everybody's going to get an opportunity to do a special little report, right? So I was like, all right, cool. So I did my special little story on Harold Washington winning the Democratic primary.
Wow.
Because this was in
This is deep lore, Matt.
This was in 1983.
This is very specific. This is good stuff.
This was in 1983.
Okay.
And back then, you didn't have social media, internet, or anything like that.
Of course not, right?
You went to a newspaper stand, and you bought a and there was a newspaper stand in Hollywood that was on right off of Hollywood Boulevard. That was like this big, huge newspaper stand that had all the magazines and newspapers from all over the country and the world. And they had a Tribune in there. And I remember when I bought the Tribune when Harold won the primary election. And I cut out the article, that was basically just telling you what happened, right? And I used that article as my story.
Right.
So then they were like, we're doing this. We're in a class. We're in a studio.
Yeah.
Because it's a broadcasting class.
Right.
We're in a studio, and they got the cameras going and everything. Yeah. And they got two white kids who are the anchors, and they're like, and here with a story from the Chicago's mayor race is Matt McGill. And then I came in, and I had my story written out. I was like, in a stunning upset, Congressman Harold Washington won the Democratic nomination for mayor of the city of Chicago. The first African-American, black, actually, because I don't even think we're using African-American. And I did the story, boom, boom, boom. Harold Washington, this, that, the other, boom, 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 boom. Now on to the general election where the Democratic nominee always wins, and Harold Washington is expected to face some opposition. Here's the story that we'll be following. I'm Matt McGill for Santa Monica News, right? Da-da-da-da-da. My teacher loved it.
Oh.
I'm the only black kid.
Yeah.
And Tatiana.
And you brought news from outside the state.
Tatiana did something. She did something else. I forgot what she did. But when I tell you, when we played back the newscast, my teacher was like, that was amazing, Matthew. And like, I don't know. In front of everybody, like I said, I'm like the only black male in the classroom. There's a number of white kids in there that are like, just know they're going to be the next media stars and all that.
Yeah.
And he was like, I don't know what you're going to do, but you've got a future in broadcasting if you want it, son. You knocked that out the park. And everybody turned, because I was always like just in the class in the back. Everybody turned around and looked at me and almost like collectively was like, damn.
Right. They didn't know. They didn't know you were a sleeper.
And Tatiana for the first time like.
Paid attention to you, finally.
Like, damn it, girl.
Gave you your due respect.
But she still wasn't giving me no props
until
she saw me hanging out with Michael Jackson.
All right.
Because her and Michael dated after they met on the commercial.
Oh, wow.
Right.
And then he did The Way You Make Me Feel
video
while
with
they
her.
were dating?
Right. That's how they started.
I did not know that. Right. I didn't know. I just figured she was
met
just
her,
a video.
He met her at the commercial, though.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
on stage with Michael just walking around and all that. And she was sitting in the audience looking like, oh, hey.
Right.
She trying to wave
I guess
at
he
me.
is cool, right?
She waving at me, right? And I was being cool. I was like, yeah, what's up, girl? You trying to get up here? You try? All right, let me see what I can do.
You had the backstage creds, then you could flex a little bit.
I had all access, baby. Let me see what I can do. Let me see what I can do. You ignoring me in class, though, but that's
for
all
you, right? For you, yeah.
That was hilarious.
Oh
though.
my gosh.
Anyway,
that's a good. That's a good fun
But
fact.
I tell people this all the time. I was so close to Michael when his hair caught on. I could smell his hair burning. I can smell it, man. I mean, when you look at the video.
You were ready to jump,
drop,
and roll, tackle him.
The famous shot of him being wheeled into the ambulance.
Yeah.
And he's got his glove on and he kind of waves as he's getting wheeled into the ambulance.
Yeah.
I am about 5 feet away from him.
Wow. Ooh, that's
I'm not kidding you. I swear to God, on my mother and father. People think I'm like, my brother would tell you, because I called my brother.
Wow.
I went to the payphone and called my brother right away and was like, dude, you're not going to believe what happened. See, back in the day, y'all remember when we used to have what we call credit card numbers to make long-distance phone calls.
Right, like a pay card, right?
It was like a paid credit. You typed in this number.
And you had money on the number,
and
right?
you could make long-distance phone calls from a public phone, right? I had a credit card number, and I went to the payphone and typed it in and called my brother. Man, you ain't gonna believe it. This is before.
That's crazy.
This is before social media,
of
internet,
course.
news stories going like that. I was like, you're gonna hear Michael Jackson's hair just caught on fire, bud. I'm talking to Bud.
Too bad you weren't able to break the news yourself.
I know, right? I was like 19.
Yeah.
I was talking to Bud. You know my brother Bud. I was like, Bud, Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire. He's like, what? I was like, dude, I'm right here, right next to Michael. Man, you're going in the ambulance right now.
Did he know you were hanging out with Michael up until that point?
He knew from the day before because I called him and told him the day
exactly.
before. Right? He was still like, his mind was being blown. He was like, what you doing?
What is going on?
What? I was like, dude, I'm going to get in the commercial. And I got in the commercial too, though. All right. Anyway, all right, 591. I didn't tell you the story.
No, this is fascinating to me.
Anyway, you're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
In July, VON TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, with dun 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 dun, and be like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law & Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on VON TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.tv. VON TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, The Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church and Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
I haven't met Beyonce, though. I can tell you that much. I don't think I have. I've met Jay-Z. But I
haven't met either of them.
I haven't met.
Miss Tina was
You went at the party,
to
right?
add to the list.
Those A-list celebrities.
Mm-hmm,
they are getting back together for an album or something, or they're
I
going to
heard that.
release. They're going to release some songs maybe that they recorded. I'm talking
Yeah.
about Destiny's Child. Beyonce's father, Matthew Knowles, announced that they are going to be releasing some music, some new music. I don't know if it's new music that they're going to go in the studio
Yeah, who knows?
and record, or if it's new music that they've recorded already, unreleased.
Previously, right.
Unreleased new music, which a lot of
Or
artists
maybe a
have.
combination.
Or maybe a combination of both.
Yeah. Either way, I'll be tuned in.
I think that's cool, though, because, I mean, you know what? They had something together.
Oh,
when they
absolutely.
were
And still do, really. And I think that's why this works, is because it's not like other bands that disband and don't stay close and don't stay connected and whatever. I feel like everyone knows that Kelly and Beyonce are still best friends, that Michelle is still very close with all them. And she just had them pop up for, I believe for... I know for sure Coachella, obviously, years ago. But I'm like, did she have them come and do something recently at Jay-Z's concert in New York? I thought that maybe one of the nights they were a special guest performance recently, like within like this summer somewhere.
So I mean, you know, I love it, man. I think,
Yeah.
speaking of Michael Jackson, and Tony Snow was saying, so Matt, Mike stole Tatiana from you, huh? You know what, Tony? I don't think Tatiana was feeling me. Even when she saw me on stage with Michael, I think she was still kind of like, dude, move over, get me close to Michael, which eventually happened without me. So she figured her way up into Michael's life, man. I think Michael was better off with the Jacksons than he was solo, to me. I think, you know, I kind of felt like Michael. I kind of felt like he didn't want to continue performing with his brothers. And I feel like, dude, that's the only people you should perform with. Still do your solo albums. But then when y'all go on tour, man, have the brothers with you, man, because we're used to.
You need to watch the movie.
I know.
You have to watch the movie.
I know.
Because this exact concept and conversation is a huge plot topic.
His father wanted him to keep performing with the brothers.
The brothers really weren't feeling it as well. They kind of wanted to move on with their lives. And Michael wanted to continue to be dedicated to his music. He had, you know, this is what was shown. And that he had more expansive vision than I think what his father wanted to allow and what would have been available, you know, had he stayed.
I still think his father was correct to say you still need to perform with your brothers, right? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Michael Jackson of the 90s, I lost interest in him. The Michael Jackson that was going on tour and he was touring with all these other people that looked all crazy his background band would have like crazy hair and stuff like that. Did nothing for me. In fact, I used to feel like Michael would be on stage by himself performing, and I felt, and it wasn't like when he had the brothers with him and they were all in sync dancing, and then Michael would do his stuff.
Yeah.
And he lost me. He really did, man. I'm a Michael Jackson fan, big time. But I had no interest in going to a Michael Jackson concert to see him and some crazy looking, Michael.
I mean, he's artist. He was kind of always a little out there, a little avant-garde.
But I kind of felt like Michael wanted to be accepted by white America more so than he was.
I think he wanted
entrenched
the
in his black
opportunity
roots.
to cross over,
Well,
and
yeah.
again, that is also addressed in the movie. Whether it's, I guess I can't. Speak
How many
like
nose
these are
jobs
for
do
sure.
you need, dude? You're not
Okay, well, that is a layered subject that I feel like is not a passive conversation, but we know that there were some psychological family trauma implications in those decisions, I think is fair to say, and whatever else were the reasons, TBD, but you just got to watch the movie.
All right, I mean, look, I'm right there when his hair catches on fire. Right?
You got to watch the movie.
I was
Matt.
telling my friend.
And look, someone just commented you could watch it at home, so I guess you could watch it at home.
All right. The first time, the scene that they actually used for the commercial was the first shot. So they only did 2 shots. The second shot was when
Because
his
they
hair
probably didn't, I mean, they had to.
right? They had to use the first
point.
one. The second shot was when his hair caught on fire.
And
right?
then he was done.
But let me tell you this. The first time, when they did the first shot, it was like Jackson's come out. They're playing, basically Billie Jean, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's an explosion at the top of the stairs. Michael comes down. Boom, boom, boom. Cut. All right. The director, Bob Girardi's like, hey, I want y'all to really be loud. This is Michael Jackson. No, we're going to do this. We're going to keep doing it until we get it right, which they will do it over and over and over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
Because they did it the day before.
Oh, yeah. That's why you're on set forever.
When I snuck in the commercial, it was after they had already shot like 10 scenes, and I said, let me try to sneak in here.
Yeah.
So the second time, I'm right there on stage, same spot. Second time they shoot it, the explosion happens that Michael comes out of, it was louder. It was louder than the first one.
I
So
wonder if it was a bigger explosion.
I think
And that's
they
why
added-
it caught. They probably added some.
They added-
didn't calculate necessarily where he'd be standing in reference to the change in dimension.
You
or
can
whatever.
see the video where basically something just drops into his head.
Yeah, a
But
spark, but it was
but
enough oil to.
It was
light that
It was
flame.
louder. It was
Wow.
louder though.
Interesting.
They added more. Whatever you put in a pyrotechnic
Yeah.
thing to make it explode.
Yeah.
They added more. Ain't no doubt in my mind.
Wow.
I'm right there, man. Because in fact, the crowd even
like jumped a little.
The second explosion, the crowd went whoa, because it was that much louder.
Oh yeah.
I remember saying, damn. But as soon as he came out of the smoke, right, this puff of smoke, I saw something going in the back of his head. I was like, and I just thought it was smoke lingering from the smoke he came out of.
Yeah.
And then
No,
he just
it was
started
on him. Yeah.
swinging around and doing all that stuff.
Oh my gosh.
All right, let's take a break here. Susan, hold on. We'll get your call when we come back. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. Mayor Brandon Johnson believes his most recent action will help address gun violence in Chicago. He signed an executive order yesterday designed to strengthen the city's existing procurement standards for firearms purchased by CPD. Gun dealers will be required to disclose licensing and regulatory compliance, information to prevent firearms trafficking, straw purchasing, and theft. Mayor Johnson's order directs the Department of Procurement Services to develop procurement standards for firearm-related purchases within 90 days. In other news, a vote for a CPS budget is taking place at CPS headquarters today in downtown Chicago. WVON's intern, Kayla Patton, has more.
Today, the CPS Board of Education is meeting to vote on a $10 billion spending plan. This comes after news of the district experiencing a $700 million budget deficit. The district says it will not be able to make payroll in September if the budget does not pass. CPS lunchroom workers and members of the teachers union were among the dozens marching outside Chicago Public School headquarters to protest. I took to the streets to capture the stories of these CPS workers. School teacher Ashley said she is over the constant battle year after year with no progress.
I'm tired of the same fight every single year. Every year is the same thing. Every year is we don't have money. We have to cut teachers, and teachers are not sacrificial bodies. We are central to schools and communities. We are central to students. Every day we walk into spaces and teach kids how to be resilient and fight through trauma. Yet it's people who never have to stand in the classroom and face the consequences of cutting positions that get to make the decisions. And for me, that's no more.
Critics of the proposed budget say any layoffs and cuts will gut school services and create crowded classrooms, causing permanent harm to students. CPS CEO Dr. Macklin King said the upcoming school year could be in jeopardy if a budget isn't approved, essentially shutting down the district as staff and students are supposed to be returning to the classroom. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, the American Red Cross is warning of a nationwide blood shortage. It has declared its second ever national blood supply crisis. The organization says donations have fallen to a 4-year summer low, leaving less than a 1-day supply of type O positive blood, the most commonly transfused blood type. Health officials are urging eligible donors of all blood types to make an appointment, saying even a single donation can help patients in critical need. And President Trump announced the Freedom Haulers initiative aimed at helping military veterans transition into commercial trucking jobs. The program would coordinate several federal departments to expedite commercial driver's license for veterans after they complete their military service. Trump also criticized the number of non-English speaking truck drivers on U.S. highways during the announcement. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Social Awareness Film Festival is about more than movies. It's about raising the consciousness of the world by exploring injustice through art and creativity. Be there August 1st and 2nd for the 8th Annual Tyler Mann International Social Awareness Film Festival at Cantini Park on Winfield Road in Wheaton. Enjoy over 30 films in 2 days. Meet this year's Amir Locke Saving the Youth Award recipient Christopher Paul Horn of Unheard Voices. When a 17-year-old is sentenced to 40 years in a Texas prison for a robbery committed with a toy gun, his mother Tasha Mills is shattered. Watch this special screening, then join the mother and the film's director as they discuss this powerful movie, her best-selling memoir, and the latest on her son's case. Enjoy this year's films and lively panel discussions happening all day Saturday and Sunday, August 1st and 2nd at the Tyler Mann International Social Awareness Film Festival at Cantini Park on Winfield Road in Wheaton. The event is free, but donations are welcome. Visit TylerMannFilms.com for more info. For vendor information, call Andrew Tyler at 651-756-0184.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
3 days, 3 phenomenal women, award-winning commentator Joy Reid, and the ultimate it girl Keke Palmer, and gospel's best Leandria Johnson, only at the Black Women's Expo, Friday, July 31st through Sunday, August 2nd at McCormick Place. Plus, live entertainment from the main stage featuring American Idol's Keela Richardson and the Los Angeles-based duo Shakespeare blending R&B, soul and pop, a house music party with DJ Celeste Alexander, and much more. Community, beauty, wellness, food, family fun, powerful conversations, and shopping all in one place. Half price adult tickets at all Walgreens locations. Sponsored by University of Chicago Medicine, Humana, City Colleges of Chicago, Rush University Medical Center, and Vive Healthcare. Check out the lineup at www.bwenext.com for more details.
Hi, it's Melody Span Cooper. Join me at the Black Women's Expo this Friday at 2:30 p.m. as I interview entrepreneur, political podcaster, and author Joy Reid. See you at 2:30 on Friday.
The CTA is coming to WVON, Sundays 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We begin to rap.
All right, let's grab some phone calls. See what's on everybody else's mind. Tony Snow on Facebook Live says, Matt, tell the story about Maya Angelou hitting on you at Chick Rick's. All right, so look, I'm sitting at the bar at Chick Rick's, right, talking to my brother Bud. And I'm totally looking at Bud, staring at Bud, and I feel somebody rubbing on my leg. All right? And so, and they started rubbing, like, really on my leg, going up higher on my leg, right? And I turned around, and I'm like, what the hell? And it was Maya Angelou. Oh, my God. No, I'm just playing.
I was going to say, uh-oh.
I know why the cage bird sings now. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke, because Tony is being funny. That did not happen.
Was she actually hitting on you?
No, not Tony's being funny.
She was flirting with you.
So I'm playing along with Tony Snow there. hey Tony, but that what I just described, did happen to me.
But it wasn't Maya Angelou.
It wasn't Maya Angelou,
Right.
and it wasn't at Chick Rick's. It was at what used to be was the Copper Box 2. Which one was on 87th right before you get to Stony? Was that the Copper Box 2? I was at the Copper Box, and that did happen to me for real, dude. And I was like, well, hey, how you doing? Right? Well, she knew exactly what she was doing, too, and she started messing with me like that. Susan, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind? Susan.
Oh,
hey, she's
I'm
on.
here.
Hey.
No, I'm here. I just turned it down because I was listening to the radio. Man, you got all sorts of stories popping out.
Man,
You never gave the background. I knew you said you worked with Michael Jackson, but you snuck in. You sucker.
I snuck
Ain't
into the
that
commercial.
something? Yeah, man. Okay, so you, I keep telling him he needs to write a book. I was saying Chicago. Now you got to have the Hollywood version.
Man, y'all have no idea. Most of the stuff I couldn't write.
Oh my. Okay. Well, that'll be for the men. For the general public is what I'm talking about. But I was calling because you know what? Nancy Grace actually said she came out of retirement. Now I was on her TikTok looking, and she had made some videos about Diddy and about those scientists that were mysteriously like disappeared and killed. But she said specifically she came out of retirement because that Nolan Wells case was utterly ridiculous. You mean everybody comes back but you? Why? So, you know, for him to say, oh, I interviewed him and everything is fine. But, you know, he's going to end up being like Stacey Dash. She had to crawl back with her tail between her legs, saying, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. My head was bigger than my, it should have been. And it's like, when will they ever learn? Because they end up having to crawl back to us, begging for forgiveness. Remember? Isn't that what Candace Owens did going back to the Breakfast Club?
Yeah, but I think Candace Owens legitimately felt like she had political differences with the Democratic Party, right?
She probably did.
And I think she felt like, maybe she is just a black conservative. There are black conservatives out here. And that's just who they are politically. I mean, Clarence Thomas, obviously.
But the meaning,
but you know what?
the meaning resonates
the way she
differently
ran us
these
down,
days.
though, that was my real issue. She ran us down really, really bad. You know, like how Obama was chastising us, and it's like, okay, there's a critical component to
when you say
criticism
Candace ran us
that's
down,
intelligent.
Hold on, Susan. When you say Candace ran us down, what do you mean?
Sometimes it's like her critique of us was a little insulting and beyond. And it's just like, okay, these are your people.
Yeah.
We have issues. Yeah. But at the same time, you can't utterly alienate yourself against that because maybe that wasn't your experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just felt she was disrespectful to black people.
She was.
I really do.
And it didn't matter to her at the time.
Yeah. And I also, until she got her butt bounced out and was like left scratching her head like, well, what just happened? Let me go to the Breakfast Club. They gonna let me in, and which they did, because it was sensational. But I do think she's legitimately conservative. I am, but nowhere near to that level. So yeah, we got gradations of who we are and how we see things. But it's just, don't take advantage of your position to crawl ahead by stepping on people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying
All
in
right.
terms of how you talk about your own people.
All right, that's good. That's legit. I think, and you were going to say what?
I mean, I agree with Susan that that Candace was disrespectful and at the expense of Black folks, especially initially, and that was kind of how she was. Of course, yes, her background, she was educated, she was credentialed, but what made her a quote unquote star, right, was her ability to sensationalize herself and caricaturize herself in a way that, again, I just think that what we see is that sometimes with people, regardless of your views and why you have them or the legitimacy of said views,
Of her political
yeah,
opinions.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I
yeah,
think
it was like
'cause-
a lot of internet
Mhm.
stuff,
So, because I'm
baiting,
into the clips,
right,
and
in
so
and
I
out,
probably
yeah.
didn't or wasn't as much aware of her like punching down on black people, right?
Yeah. That
Now-
was kind of her initial MO, which was kind of
But
like,
let me ask you this: What was she punching down on black people in a way where she was being disrespectful to black people outside of what she felt black people were doing by being, in her opinion, fooled by the Democratic Party?
she talked about, and I'm not going to be able to produce a quote here, but
Republicans politically. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
So that alone, Matt, that alone can make you dislike somebody. And I don't know what the look, if we feel somebody politically is in disagreement with us, we'll be like, hey, I can't stand them, right? I mean, even when we look at Sean Hannity, or over the years, we looked at Rush Limbaugh, and I'm talking, these are white folks, right?
Yeah.
So then, like, in that clip, D.L. Hughley mentioned Larry Elder and Armstrong Williams, right? I don't know that Larry Elder and Armstrong Williams necessarily punched down on black people as much as they just were in agreement, agreement with a Republican Party that we feel punches down on black people.
But that's why I said the argument for Candace can be made. In a couple minutes ago, we were talking about it because Larry Armstrong, no, but to me, Candace Williams definitely stepped outside of her lane in terms of being like blameless. These are just my economic thoughts and yada yada. No, she's been popping her stuff
All right.
on the internet for years, and now she's crawling back on her hands and knees, looking for crumbs and acceptance. And while we can acknowledge that maybe she is finally,
seeing the light,
coming to
or
some
or
type
at least
of,
seeing Trump for who he is,
or seeing Trump, which is not right. And also, I just think that this is just a blanket statement to be made, but I think that right now, like, identifying. I just think political identifiers mean something different. And I would argue since the Trump presidency, really, I mean, I think that, before it would be like, okay, black Republican, a little taboo. But I think now maybe depending on moderate, conservative, there's so many breakdowns you can take politically in terms of ideologies. But I do think that if you're aligning with MAGA, you should be ready for the implications of what that means to people
The blowback.
ideologically, and is not just a difference of opinions. I think people view it very seriously. And I think people do have more of a zero tolerance policy.
All right, 591-1690. Bill, Gary, guys, hold on. Your calls are coming up next. I understand. Looks like you guys are having some sound issues on Facebook Live. We'll take a look at that and see if we can figure that out for you as well. Hang in there. You're listening to The Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Ada S. McKinley provides behavioral and mental health services at 4 Southside clinics. They serve people of all ages with a strong focus on therapy, counseling, and youth crisis. Their counselors and mental health professionals are well-trained and experienced in treating problems caused by emotional distress and or trauma. To schedule an appointment, call 312-761-1099 or visit adasmckinley.org.
Early detection saves lives. Ladies, if you're due for a mammogram, don't wait. Charge of your health. Eligible patients can self or through My Chart in just minutes. Visit uchicagomedicine.org/memo to schedule your screening. That's uchicagomedicine.org/memo. U Chicago Medicine at the forefront.
200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
Every Sunday, now you'll be able to listen to the First Church of Deliverance here on 1690 WVON and on the iHeartRadio app at 11 p.m. Tune in for inspirational music, powerful word, and a blessing from the Lord. That's the First Church of Deliverance, Sundays at 11 p.m. right here on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Follow us at fcdchicago.org. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We are back. All right, I will admit I haven't listened to Candace Owens. Larry Elder, I used to listen to his radio show every now and then. So a black conservative can come off as being insulting to black people just based on his politics, not necessarily based on them actually saying some things about black people. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think it depends.
Like if
but
a black
what I was saying was just that I think that the implication, like I think that there are new identity implications with aligning with the Republican Party and or MAGA that we would not have associated just because someone was Republican, 15, 20 years ago.
Because
I
MAGA is a
think
whole different brand of the Republican
it's a whole
Party.
different brand, and I
right.
think we understand that the way that Trump has behaved, led, talk, and these are his supporters. If you align with him, I'm going to assume that you support his rhetoric, if not in full, then in most, right? In majority. And majority of that is a conflict to, I mean, logically many minority groups, but particularly the Black community.
Do you remember Mia Love? You probably
Vaguely.
don't. Right. So Mia Love was this sister. She was out west. She was either,
I know that name.
She was either out of Utah or Nevada. She was a Republican. She won a congressional seat. I mean, just good. And unfortunately, we lost her. She, I think she had cancer. She passed away a couple of years ago. But just really, smart sister. But she latched on Utah. Brian Barr says Utah. She, latched on to the conservative movement, Black conservative movement, kind of around the same time Candace Owens was surfacing. Mia got elected. And, this beautiful sister. And a lot of us were perplexed, fascinated yet perplexed by her politics because, it's this conservative.
Well, you have to win, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then with Trump and everything else, man, it was a little confusing, right? But, I guess my question is, sometimes are we unfairly conflating Black conservatism with black hate or punching down on Blackness?
I don't think that Black conservatism is Black hate, but I think Black conservatives, if they are participating currently in the leaders of the conservative party or conservative movement, that a lot of the actions and rhetoric and efforts of that, I think are arguably unfavorable to Black people, Black society, Black community, and minorities in general.
Because you have, all right, Shelby is saying there's a Black conservative pastor, Pastor Mannings, that is worse than Candace and Larry Elder put together.
Yikes.
And then we think of, to Brand Barr's point, see, we look at Clarence Thomas.
The original.
That is kind of like the textbook Black conservative that we feel is totally disconnected to being Black, rejects being Black. He's got a white.
And we're all paying for it to this day.
Very important decisions about our Constitution are being made by this man.
And they're not in
who
favor.
Obviously regrets the fact that he was born Black. You know what I'm saying? And so, but see, I still was trying to draw a distinction with what D.L. Hughley was saying between, the Silk and what was the girl name? Whatever.
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash, Silk and what's her name?
Silk and Diamonds and Silk.
Diamond and Silk. Stacey Dash and this guy, Officer Tatum, probably fall in one category that is.
He's like a pundit.
Buffoonery.
Yeah,
and
for
trying
sure.
to and to their credit, maybe Diamond and Silk. And here's something that maybe we didn't think about, right? To their credit, maybe Diamond and Silk just figured out a shtick. Hey, we're going to act like these hood sisters that love Trump, and we're going to make some money.
Exactly.
And we're going to make some money.
But again,
now,
it's
maybe,
about the proximity.
I don't know if Diamond and Silk ever insulted Black people with their words. They insulted Black people with their existence.
Correct.
So Black
Which
people,
is enough insult for me.
and that's fine, right?
Yeah.
For them, they found a little niche market where they can make money.
A lot of people have. Even these random candidates that get tapped. I don't know who was the guy who ran against Raphael Warnocker years ago.
Herschel
right?
Walker?
Exactly. Who was trying to, I mean, please, that
Football
was
player, but
right. And not to shade him per se, but like, it wasn't really feeling like there was much strategy behind that other than
Let me
he
ask
was
you
willing
this.
to be Black
Do
and
you
for
know-
the other side.
Do you know who Shermichael Singleton is?
I do know the name.
All right, so he's on CNN.
Yes. Okay, that's where I know him
He's
from.
the Black conservative
That's where I know him from. Yes.
pundit that's on CNN.
Yes.
I mean, and they use him a lot.
A lot.
Right,
yeah.
so he's kind of the Black conservative that show. But they've got a couple of Black conservatives
They've
that
got
come
a
on
couple.
CNN. Right,
They've got a couple.
Shermichael is the most likable out of them, I would say.
Yeah, or at least
Sharp,
popular.
but sometimes he will piss you off as a black person.
Yeah.
Right? I have never heard him be disrespectful to black people, but he's very set in his conservative ways. Shelby says, look up Pastor Manning during the break. All right, I'm going to do that, man. Shelby says, I know Shermichael. Shelby, then tell him to come on the Matt McGill show.
Yeah.
You can produce the segment for me. You get him on the show, and you'll get producer credit for getting Shermichael Singleton on the show. All right. Callers, hold on. We've got Bill, Gary, and Trey, 591-1690. Haley Vaughn, Matt McGill. It's the Matt McGill Show.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. U.S. Representative Dila Ramirez taking leave to recover from surgery. Man shot to death on Chicago's South Side identified as basketball legend. Pope Leo says he'll visit U.S. soon. And Senate Republicans block Iran troop withdrawal resolution. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Maryland has recorded 38 heat-related deaths so far this summer. That's 2 more than last year's total of 36. The Maryland Department of Health says the recent heat wave with temperatures reaching more than 100 degrees contributed to the number of deaths. Reports indicate Iran is receiving up to 400 handheld missile launchers from China. Reuters says Iran purchased shoulder-fired air defense systems along with Chinese missiles for about $70 million. They're expected to receive the first shipment within weeks. However, China's foreign ministry calls the report completely groundless. And R&B singer Ciara announced she's giving $50,000 to 10 different groups that play important roles in the development of youth. Those include the Atlanta Music Project, SCAD, and the Black Entertainment and Sports Lawyer Association. I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, back to you, Terry.
President Trump is pretty tight-lipped about whether Dr. Anthony Fauci should face a contempt of Congress vote in the Senate. Republican Senator Rand Paul said the Homeland Security Committee is voting on a contempt resolution against Fauci next week after he invoked the Fifth Amendment. In a COVID-19 hearing, Trump was asked about the vote, but would only say Fauci didn't do him any favors in the early days of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Trump discussing retaliatory strikes against Iran.
They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but, they tried shooting it last night.
While speaking with reporters in the Oval Office, Trump was asked about Iran's ballistic missile attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. U.S. Central Command said all of the missiles were successfully intercepted. Trump said the U.S. is set to hit Iran very hard in response. Trump said Iran knows it's coming, adding it's our turn. Trump again held out hope that diplomatic efforts will prevail. Black Republican Congressman John James is running to become Michigan's next governor. James is campaigning across the state and talked about being called to the stage by President Trump during his visit to the GM Proving Ground in Milford.
But he endorsed me because he knows I've got the best chance to beat Secretary Jocelyn Benson in November and help Republicans hold Michigan House and take back the Senate. And having a relationship with the president like I have is going to help us all, the entire state, all 10 million of us.
James making campaign stops over the weekend in Grand Rapids, Holland, Hudsonville, Muskegon, and Zeeland. The Democratic candidates for governor are Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson. Sean Combs' release date has been moved up again. The music mogul's release from jail has been moved to January 24th of 2028. This is a month earlier than his previously expected release of February 23rd. Combs was previously sentenced to 50 months behind bars after his conviction on 2 prostitution charges back in October of 2025. His first release was originally scheduled for June of 2028. It all comes after Diddy was involved in a prison fight last week that ended with him in solitary confinement. The United Nations Security Council is unanimously adopting a resolution extending sanctions against armed militias and individuals operating in the Central African Republic. The action targets asset freezes, travel bans, and restrictions on supplying weapons and military equipment to armed groups. Council members are warning that armed groups and cross-border arms networks are a threat to stability, especially along border regions. The Central African Republic's ambassador to the UN is questioning how armed groups are consistently finding weapons despite the sanctions. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Hey, baby! I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us on WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
It's Gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church. Tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to, WVON, Berlin, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
And I haven't seen how to have you yet. I want to know what you tell me. I love to stay. Take me to the river. Wash me down.
All right, little Al Green for you on a Thursday. Another old school person. Pastor Man. Okay, Shelby says, look up Pastor Manning. I'm going to have to do this. He said he has a YouTube video entitled, Thank God for the White Man. Oh, Lord,
Jump
Shelby,
scare.
you trying to get me upset on a Thursday. Oh, what? What?
Right. Do we even want to know?
I know, right? Oh, what? If you're just joining the show, I did announce that Brother Will Crosby passed away. Many of you know Will from very active on WVON, a strong contributor to many programs over the years. When I first started at WVON, Crosby Brothers, they were no joke, man. They were activists. They were researchers. They had information, and it was all about building black power, building black community, making sure. But and like I said before, man. Hey, brother, Will used to get in my butt, man. If he didn't like what I was saying, or if he didn't think I was representing the right way, Will had no problem letting me know that. But it was always with love, man. Even when I knew he was a little upset, and you could tell, and he was, putting some attitude on it, the brother never really was trying to make me feel bad or tear me down. He was always about informing black people, informing this community of activists in this city, making sure that we had information and we were armed with it, and also setting the tempo for us to have these conversations, protests. Will Crosby, man, Hal Baskins, these guys over the years, man, I'm telling you, when I first started radio, man, there was some strong personalities out here that were like the black activists that were holding people accountable, politicians accountable, and we are going to miss Will Crosby a lot. He will be missed, but like I said on the Facebook, his Facebook page, he will not be forgotten, and he will be remembered with admiration, because Will was just strong, always made me feel loved and comfortable when I would see him in person. Like, he might go in on me on social media, but I'd see the brother in person. He'd be like, "Hey, Matt. Hey, hey, Matt. It's me, Will." And I'd be, "Oh, what's up?" It's always just some love there, and that's all you want.
That's important
from people. It's very important. When people trying to tear you down.
You do. You know the difference.
And when people just trying to inform you.
Right.
Say, "Brother, we need
love.
you." Tough love. I ain't got no problem with that.
We need a little more tough love.
We need a little
these
more
days.
tough love. Absolutely. We in
I
a
think so.
tough love crisis, I mean, even as we talk about the Shermichaels or the Candace Owens, black conservatives, right? There's a way to stand 10 toes down on your conservatism, right? Without being like this guy, Officer Tatum, or like Pastor Manning.
You don't want to be a puppet.
Because I saw Officer Tatum saying,
represent hate and represent different stuff. You can feel how you feel about different things, but I think you gotta be clear and draw the line where there is one.
Bill, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind?
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
This is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hi, Bill.
Yeah, I'm going to light the phone lines. I'm a black conservative, but I'm not going. I want to get your comments later. Barack Obama, I assume, do y'all accept him as the first black president? Bye.
Say it again. What did he say, Haley? What'd you hear?
Do we accept Barack Obama as the first black president? That's what I heard.
Yeah, and then he hung up.
And then
he said bye, didn't he?
I didn't know that's what he said, but I guess it was bye. It sounded like bye, but I thought it
no,
was
he
just
was bye because he's hung up.
Bye.
What did he was asking us? Do we accept him as the first black president?
Do we have to answer since he hung up?
I mean, we do. Doesn't everybody consider Barack Obama the first black president?
Yeah, I don't know if we have to answer that.
Yeah,
one.
I mean that's kind of.
Like. Yes.
Right, is there a question because his mother was white?
Period.
I guess?
Right.
I don't know.
But the truth is that it's easy, for people to be continuing to hang on and continue the Obama obsession, as sometimes the other party likes to do. But the truth is that there are hundreds of people in black legacy who, over history and time, are regarded as firsts and heroes and wave makers and change makers in our community that I'm sure Bill is familiar with and probably maybe holds in high regard. And I'm sure Barack Obama is probably not the only one who may be biracial on that list.
And I'm sure.
And that's really all I would have to say about that.
If we really wanted to look at
if we wanted to break it down
black
for all
idols,
of our black idols and leaders and
do a ancestry,
a 23andMe,
right? I'm sure we would
I don't
find.
know. We'd be here all day.
Wait a minute, you would find some white people that have some black. Some African blood in them.
That's really what they're figuring out these days.
Okay, if we
you
really
didn't know
wanted to.
Grandma was passing.
Okay, so there's some white people that got some black in them that probably wouldn't.
Right.
In fact, it's funny because I saw a picture of Carol Channing yesterday. You don't know who Carol Channing was, but I grew up thinking Carol Channing and understanding Carol Channing was white. I never felt any differently about Carol Channing. I just thought she was a white entertainer, right? I saw a picture of Carol Channing the other day when she was obviously in her 20s, and she looked black to me. I was like, that's Carol Channing? I was like, that's Carol Channing? And I'm telling you, I grew up thinking Carol Channing was white.
You know who I like? This is now years in the making, but like I was introduced in recent adulthood to, and I don't even think we can call it a conspiracy theory. It's really just like information about J. Edgar Hoover, and that all his hate and his hate train was like what we were just saying about Clarence Thomas. You know, people
that J. Edgar
really
Hoover has some black in him.
That he is was majority, was mostly.
Is that right? I think I have heard that.
Yeah, and that part of the reason why he was so hateful
Dr. King
to the community was he was like, it was an overcompensation for
Right.
the identity that he was trying to hide.
Right. Yeah.
I've heard that one too. I mean, there's so many.
Babe
That's what I'm
Ruth.
saying. We could go down. Yes,
Some
I've heard
people
Babe
say
Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
We could go down
The
the list.
Bambino.
We could go down the list.
Pierce, I thought Matt was biracial. Channing was passing as white. Yes, she was, brother. Yes, she was. No, both of my parents are black. I'm sure. Like I said,
I know. I get it too. Both of my parents are black.
Yeah, I get it. I tell them, man. You know, both of my parents look
Right.
like me.
I don't
They
know
were
what you want me to
light-skinned black
say.
people,
Right.
You know, that's the way they grew. That's the way they grew up. I tell you what, my parents and my grandparents grew up as black people. No, that's what America told them they were. So that's what they said they were, and that's all that matters, right? Remember the white girl that was, and I shouldn't say it like that. The white woman that was in charge of the NAACP.
Rachel Dolezal. You know what we
Dolezal.
call her? By Rachel.
By Rachel. Hilarious.
She was like early Twitter back in the day.
And I used to
people were doing
defend her.
black trivia.
I used to
off of
defend
that.
her.
That
though.
was a good long running joke, Rachel Dolezal. And she's still wearing her little wigs and whatever.
I used to defend her because I used to say, if this white woman is that committed to black culture,
Yeah, I mean, I
that
guess
she
let her have
that
it.
she would work, that she would take the NAACP, right? Then guys, we got to give her some grace. Because she's putting the work in, right?
Yeah.
See, a lot of people were offended. They felt like she was hijacking black culture or something
right,
like that.
Right, like culture vulture
But
appropriation. And it is, but I guess if you're trying to put
you
some
putting the work
positivity
in,
behind it, we'll let you have it.
Right.
but-
If you actually in your community
yeah.
trying to yoke up black people,
But that was really funny back
Billy
in the day.
Idol is black. Okay.
So, I mean, so many. Even,
I don't know about Billy Idol, Tony Snow. That's funny. One of my favorite artists, though. Gary, welcome to WVON. What's on your mind?
Yeah, it's Jerry, man. How you doing? Excellent show.
Hey, Jerry, what's happening?
Do you know Don Rashid?
Who?
Don Rashid.
Yeah, I know Don Rashid, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Everybody
Don,
knows Don Rashid.
Yeah, Don and I, we substitute sometime when Ernesto was out of town on his show, so we covered it Sunday. But anyway, you got an excellent show. I wanted to throw out and talk about people who I didn't know. Soul Dad O'Brien. Yeah,
Soul
I never
Dad,
knew.
yeah.
And-
Yep.
Yeah, and so forth. But anyway, I don't want to waste a lot of time on conservatism, but I listened to your story about Michael Jackson. The young lady that's with you, given the type of history you have, you need to see this movie because it gives real insight into who he was.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
The way he was.
Do we know that? Do we when we look at this movie though of Michael? We're talking about Michael, guys. If you're just tuning in, we were talking about it earlier though. But can we say this is actually a true? Because what were there any family members that had a problem with the content? I know Janet. There was something going on with Janet about the movie.
Legally with Janet, because Janet is the only. Well, Janet and Randy, I believe, are the only siblings not shown.
Portrayed in, yeah.
Not portrayed. Randy obviously was a little bit younger, but Janet, I was wondering where is she the whole time because Latoya's in it.
And Randy was a
Everyone
big
else in
part
it.
of the Jacksons. man.
Exactly. So.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it was true, but it feels like the information is coming from somewhere that should be validated.
I have to agree. To get some insight into him, what drove him, the affirmations
Sure.
that he was going to be the number one entertainer. He kept saying that every day. I don't know if it was true about how they would get Thriller, and he had it on his wall. This song was the name. This Thriller was actually the name of a TV show from Boris Karloff.
Sure. He was a big Boris. Well, he had Vincent Price on the Thriller album.
The only mistake, I think, they needed him in the video, even to get that little rap to me. But my point is, you have to see this, given the type of background that you have. But I understand what he went through and stuff like that, how his father treated it. And there's a scene in that. I don't want to spoil it.
No, I'm going to go see it. Especially having the experience.
And your questions, Matt, are so on point to things that are addressed in the film.
I mean, guys, here's the reality, right? I mean, my personal feelings about Michael Jackson. I've had this personal experience with Michael Jackson that is unique, right?
Yes, I would say so.
It only lasted 2 days, but it's now. And you guys know me. Here's what's interesting about history, right? And how you just never know how history's going to turn out. That first day I was hanging out with Michael Jackson, in my mind, because I was a go-getter at that age, right? In my mind, I was about to make Michael my best friend.
Yeah.
I was going to stay.
Sounds like it.
And because I knew the next day I was going to be spending the whole day with him again.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to let Michael get that far away from me, right? I was going to be like, hey, Mike, it was great working with you. Here's my number. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da. Bill, you know me.
Right.
Boom, boom, boom. Your next project, let me know. I'd love to come. Ralph here, the photographer, anything you need us to do, man. If you want to bounce some ideas. I was going to work my way into Michael's space, right?
Right.
So the second day of shooting, I was like, oh, I got it. I know what I'm going to say to Michael. Boom, he's used to me. We had been around. You know what I'm saying? We had, like I said, all this time around him, so he was used to me. I was going to try to, like you said with Dave Chappelle, I was going to shoot my shot, right?
Right.
I was going to try to make sure that we stayed
right,
connected.
Right.
And then his hair caught on fire.
And then he was in the hospital for
So it's no
weeks.
way for me
Yes,
to
exactly.
have that moment
Right.
that I knew was going to happen.
No
because the
follow-up.
way the day ended the day before, we all came back down to the dressing room, and it was a real small group of us.
Yeah.
And I was in there, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's going to happen again tonight.
Yeah.
And I'm going to just,
Right. And then we'll really be able
And
to
I'm going to just be like, hey,
that's
Matt,
my runway.
I'm going to just be able, hey, Mike, it was good working with you, da-da-da-da. And then I knew I was going to, once I start with that opening line, I was going to close it. Hey, man, it was good working with you, da-da-da-da-da. But, well, man, I told you about the Regal Theater. I grew up across the street from it, man, from Chicago. I'm trying to connect with people who are from back around the way, man. Here's my number. If you're doing some stuff, let me know. If you need some help on any other project. And he probably would have been comfortable enough to, who knows? He might have called me. He may not have called me.
Yeah.
But his history goes, I'll never know because his hair caught on fire. And I was like, damn.
Right.
As he goes away in the ambulance, I'm like, Mike, my phone number is 7213. Right. Stay in touch with me, brother. As he's going away.
His wave was actually at you.
As he's on his way to UCLA Hospital. Damn, there goes my opportunity. Tatiana, damn it. Let's take a break here. You're listening to the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
It's gospel with Pam Morris Walton, your gospel sister, on WVON Sundays, 11 to 2 p.m. Music to help you on your journey. I'll see you there, WVON.
3 days, 3 phenomenal women, award-winning commentator Joy Reid, and the ultimate it girl Keke Palmer, and gospel's best Leandria Johnson, only at the Black Women's Expo, Friday, July 31st through Sunday, August 2nd at McCormick Place. Plus, live entertainment from the main stage featuring American Idol's Keela Richardson and the Los Angeles-based duo Shakespeare blending R&B, soul and pop, a house music party with DJ Celeste Alexander, and much more. Community, beauty, wellness, food, family fun, powerful conversations, and shopping all in one place. Half-price adult tickets at all Walgreens locations. Sponsored by University of Chicago Medicine, Humana, City Colleges of Chicago, Rush University Medical Center, and ViV Healthcare. Check out the lineup at www.bwenext.com for more details.
Hi, it's Melody Span Cooper. Join me at the Black Women's Expo this Friday at 2:30 p.m. as I interview entrepreneur, political podcaster, and author Joy Reid. See you at 2:30 on Friday.
Have you checked out WVON's digital streaming network, VON TV? It's everywhere on Roku, Apple TV Plus, Amazon Fire, on the WVON app, and at VON.TV. VON TV, it's cultural content on purpose.
I'm Sally, a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs. Excuse me, hi. What do you think this place needs?
I'd like to see more parking.
More playgrounds.
Free movies.
Oh, that's easy. Better restaurants.
And you, what do you think this place needs?
This place? Oh, more ice cream trucks.
Okay. How about you?
Wi-Fi everywhere?
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
Oh, that's way better.
Now that you mention it.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you. To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org. Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
The bass line. It's Billy Idol. Who said Billy Idol's black? I thought he was black when he made this song here. I tell you. It's a little eyes without the face. This is one of my favorite songs, though, back in the day before you guys were born. When Billy Idol came out with this. I was living in L.A. when Billy came out with this. This had to be around 84, right? Am I thinking differently, Matt? 84, right? Yeah. I remember when this came out. Billy Idol, Madonna. It was a group of them that came out in the same year.
Yeah.
And just came out with some kick-ass songs, man.
Nice.
This one was kick-ass. Madonna came out. Her first song on radio was Borderline.
I don't think I know Borderline.
I'll play Borderline. You know Borderline by Madonna. This was her first radio song when she got
Okay, maybe I just know it by sound and not by name.
You probably, because everybody knows her by this song,
okay.
right? You don't remember that? No, you guys.
A little bit. Maybe.
Put the
Let's see when
I don't know if you can hear in the headphones. Y'all don't remember this? You don't, Matt. You weren't born either. Something in the way you hold me won't
This
let
is not
me
one
be.
of the. I do actually, yes. Now
Right.
that you're singing it, yes, I do know
No,
it. But it's not
maybe.
one of the ones that I think of when I think
Right,
about
you
it.
thinking
because I
about like
remember
a
they were late.
virgin.
Exactly.
Right. This was the first song when she first came out. They brought.
Okay. Yes, I do know this.
Yeah,
song.
y'all remember
yes,
this.
Yes, of course.
And then find this one for me, Matt, because Tony Snow says that Ben was the mouse that was MJ's best friend. I was joking that I would have been Michael Jackson's. Ben is a song by Michael Jackson. And Haley said, no,
Charlotte.
Charlotte said she didn't know what Ben was. Yeah. You don't know what, so Ben was a movie about a rat.
I don't think I know about
Ben
Ben
Michael
either.
Jackson sang basically they wrote a love song about a rat.
Was it an animation?
No.
Oh, I know this song, but I didn't know it was about a rat. What? That's crazy. That's like good trivia.
Y'all didn't know this?
Like, what is this song really about?
Maddie, you know this song? Look at Matt over there. You never heard this song before, Charlotte. What a good song. This was Ben, man.
You've heard this. You've heard this.
It was a love song about a rat.
But you know what? What is something, again, we're just building our case, Matt, for watching the movie.
Uh-huh.
But what's also demonstrated very clearly in the movie is his, unique, I think, connection with animals specifically. So it really
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me to hear that.
Michael Jackson was weird though. As much
Yes,
as I
but
love him,
because he didn't have a chance
And
at
he-
being normal. He didn't live
but
normal.
that's
he
where
wasn't
I
raised
was.
normal.
Haley, that's where I was gonna come in. See, I saw where he was going.
Right, you were going to be like the cool best friend
was
that
coming-
introduced him back.
I was coming from Chicago.
Damn.
This was 1983, 84.
We blame the pyrotechs.
The pyrotechs.
They ruined it.
I could have changed Michael. He would have got like 4 fewer nose jobs if I had been around
I don't
him.
know.
He wouldn't
Didn't he
have-
already
he
have
wo-
a couple by the time the Pepsi commercial happened?
Look at the Thriller album.
I think there was There
Look
was maybe
at
like
how
2.
he looked.
Right, he still looked
Michael
like him.
looked damn
he
good.
Still he looks great. Yeah, he still
I
looked
would
like
have.
him.
I would have put an end to the nose jobs. No more nose jobs, Mike. We're not doing that anymore. And let's get rid of this bleaching cream stuff. You know, I know you want people to say you got vitiligo.
That's confident in your friendship.
Right. We're gonna get rid of the bleaching cream. You're gonna stay this nice, perfect skin color that you have, Michael. Everybody wants to be your skin color. You know, that's why white people sit in the sun. That's why light-skinned black people like me sit in the sun. We want to be like, I mean, when you look at all of the Jacksons, they have like, now that's the skin color you want. It's like perfect. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you guys are paper bags. All of them, man, have the same skin. All of them have the same complexion.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Michael did not need to change one shade of his skin at all.
He certainly did not. But again,
Not one.
we could.
LaToya
sit
was a
here-
little lighter.
She was,
Right.
but we could. But LaToya had surgery. Janet had surgery. They all ended up having the surgery.
I get,
and that's why.
That's
it speaks
Hollywood,
to-
though.
It's Hollywood. It's access. It's money,
You
and
live
it's
in
Joe.
LA.
And it's Joe Jackson.
Well, hold on.
First.
Maddie, turn on Charlotte's microphone. Charlotte is your best friend,
Yep,
Haley.
yep.
All right. Put
She's
your
a-
headphones on, though,
she's
so
a
you can hear
brilliant-
yourself.
She's a brilliant film producer out of LA.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Get close to the mic so we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear yourself?
Yes, I can hear myself.
There you go.
Okay.
So Hollywood puts pressure on people to look a certain way, though, right? Aren't we clear on that?
100%.
Right?
The whole LA culture, I would say, it's built into the culture
Right.
of LA.
So
truly.
don't we all agree that Kerry Washington has lost a lot of weight?
Yeah. Well,
most of Hollywood is on the Ozempic.
I know that's what I'm saying though.
So
What, there was nothing wrong with,
we're not gonna isolate Carrie.
Yes.
but
we
there
could
was
have
nothing.
a whole list.
But there was nothing wrong with Carrie's body.
There was nothing wrong with a lot of these
But
bodies.
she's had her struggles, and she's been pretty open about
Yeah,
that.
she has, and
That's
she's
Hollywood,
been in
though.
Hollywood for a long.
She wouldn't have done that if she was
time.
here in Chicago. She wouldn't have been tripping on and
I
looking
don't
like
know,
a
'cause
waif.
again, resources, access.
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae is different.
So I will say
Issa's
that
lost
there
a
is
lot.
a culture, I think, of as soon as someone get into the light, and maybe it's
Yeah.
because you're seeing yourself on
The pressure
TV
on
all day,
camera. You see
yourself on
And the
TV?
camera
right?
does add
and
pounds.
it does change.
And
I
it
feel like everyone kind of
changed.
comes in,
Yeah.
and how you start in the industry with your body
Yeah.
is never how you end.
Right.
No matter who it is.
And
That's-
it fluctuates for a
But
lot of
Hollywood-
people. There's a lot of relentless criticism.
But that's Hollywood.
yeah.
Michael, all right, check this out. Michael Jackson would have been a different human being if he had stayed in Chicago his entire life, as opposed to moving to Los
Or
Angeles.
just never got famous. you
Well, of
know?
course, if he never got
Right?
famous, but but even if he had gotten famous
But
and
I'm
stayed
saying
in Chicago,
being 10 years old and having access to the things, or not
But
having
no-
access to the things
Right.
at most 10. No, these are like formative years.
I mean, Michael had Bubbles the monkey, right?
Right.
He had, and it represented something, right? Other than, you know.
He didn't have access to other friends his age.
Yeah, but that's but I that's
So
part
those
of
were his friends.
Haley. That's where I would have came in.
Right. Those damn pyrotechnics.
I was saving Michael from. I could see where. I'm gonna be honest with you. Even when I was around him for those 2 days, I was like, dude, you gotta.
Just come
I
over
wanted to
here,
be like.
right.
Number one, I wanted to
But
be
also
like.
sometimes you can't save people, because I feel like even in adulthood I have met a couple little odd birds here and there, and I'm like, I'll help you and
I
be a
get-
good friend, and my friends and I have healthy relationship dynamics, and then sometimes people
Man.
just show you who they are, and you can't step
Let
in,
me tell
especially
you,
in adulthood.
Let me tell you what kind of stood out the most to me about Michael when I first saw him in person, like how we are. I'll tell you when we come back on the. That's what you call a tease, which I have been accused of all my life. When we come back on the Matt McGill Show, Logan has news coming right now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here's what's happening in your local and national news. Illinois Congresswoman Delia Ramirez will take off several weeks to recover from a surgical procedure. The Chicago Democrat would not reveal the medical treatment that she had undergone. Ramirez says she will be sidelined during the congressional recess, which started July 23rd and ends on August 31st. The first Guatemalan American elected to the state legislature in 2018 will close her offices until Monday and will reopen the next day. Ramirez won the 3rd congressional district seat in 2022, and she easily won re-election in 2024. In other news, detectives are investigating the shooting death of former Simeon basketball star in Thornton Fractional North, Coach Tim Bankston. Police say his body was found yesterday morning in the home of one of his friends on 77th, and Emerald Bankston is known as a basketball legend in Chicago. He led Simeon High School to the state basketball title in 1984. No one is in custody. In other news, Pope Leo says he plans to visit the U.S. soon. The first American pontiff who grew up in Chicago told NBC News in an interview that aired Wednesday there is no other way for many things he loves about America and the U.S. We'll see him at some point, likely in the next couple of years. Still, Leo said while he holds the principles that are part of him being American dear, he is the Pope first and foremost. The Pope said, "I have great love for America, but I understand my mission." And Senate Republicans defeated a resolution that would have required President Trump to withdraw U.S. troops from Iran in a 49-50 vote. Republican Senators Susan Collins, Lisa Murkowski, and Rand Paul joined Democrats in supporting the measure. The vote comes amid concerns about the expanding conflict, the safety of U.S. service members, and rising energy prices. Lawmakers continue to debate U.S. military involvement and the administration's strategy moving forward. I'm Logan Page, and that's what's happening in your news now on WVON 1690 AM.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
Shop small with Wintrust Bank and celebrate the heart of our community, our local businesses. Listen as we share a list of small businesses throughout our community that we can shop, dine, and support throughout the year. These businesses are the economic engine that drives our neighborhoods. Wintrust knows that. That's why they're Chicago's bank and why they're encouraging you to shop local. Keep listening for the Wintrust Community Business Spotlight campaign. With Wintrust, shopping small is a big deal.
It's Rufus Williams.
The radio keeps our ear to the pavement so we know what's going on in the community. And I got to say, what and how you've been doing it as my frat brother, but more importantly, what VON does, you are the new Ebony Jet that keeps our community connected.
Well, thanks. That's a huge compliment.
Weekdays at 7 a.m. on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
CTA is coming to WVON. Sundays, 7 p.m., not the train. Call to action with your host, Randria. When life has you at a stop, he'll pick you up and help you find out where you're going and the best connections to get you there. Take the ride every Sunday at 7 p.m. with your host, Randria. The next stop might be yours.
WVON is more than a radio station. We're your connection to Black America. That means we're everywhere. On Facebook at WVON, on Instagram at WVON, and on the WVON app. WVON is everywhere.
Now back to Matt McGill on The Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Little Brothers Johnsons for you on WVON. All right, we got Haley in here, of course, you know. We've got Haley's best friend, Charlotte, in here. And now we have We're trying to pronounce your name.
Ludmila. She told me it was correct.
What is it?
Ludmila Muse.
Ludmila Muse.
Yes, I've got it.
Ludmila, get close to that microphone there.
yes.
There you go.
And I used to do radio, so I should know better.
You know that. We'll get
You know the ropes.
We'll get you some. We'll get you some headphones so you can hear. You know the key to radio is. I don't know if you realize this, Haley. Is when you had the headphones on, then you know how close you are to the mic. Because a lot of people would just be like this, da 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 da, right? But now it's a big difference, right?
Yes.
You guys hear that difference?
Oh, I can. Yes.
So that's why when people come to the studio and they don't have the headphones on, I'm always like, get close to the mic.
Okay.
Because you're comfortable talking.
You're more conscious, right?
Yeah.
Right. And so so what's going on? How you doing?
I'm well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, meet
So
Charlotte,
excited.
meet Haley.
Yes, beautiful ladies. They're so
welcome.
beautiful. Look at
Haley
you
is
surrounded.
my weekly co-host. She comes in and represents and holds it down. Charlotte just happened to drop in on us out of
She's
California.
popping in. She's my guest for the weekend.
Nice.
She's an amazing film producer and
In
she's
Los
in
Angeles.
the industry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So she-
I need her. Perfect timing.
So she might produce the Ludmila Muse story.
Yeah, listen.
About this.
We got stuff to produce.
Okay. You never know how life goes here,
That's
right?
right.
It can surprise you like that. But so look, before we went to break, what did I tease them with? I forgot what I said already. I do this all the time. See, this is ADHD.
No, you know what? But I think we all have it because
I was about to say, you guys both
because
are
I-
ADHD.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? You're ADHD too, Charlotte?
Well, I'm suspicious of ADHD
right.
within myself.
What did I say?
Okay.
Oh, no, I know what it was.
I'm ADHD suspicious.
No. So I was telling this story all show about how I spent 2 days with Michael Jackson.
Oh, nice.
And I really was going to, my plan was after the first day, I was like, Michael is not getting away from me. I am going to be his best friend and change his life. No more nose jobs. I'm gonna
bring the brother back.
I'm from Chicago. I'm from Chicago. Mike is about to get Chicago eyes, dude. I was about to make him a Blackstone Ranger and everything. L. Rookin, a GD or something.
Oh Lord!
I was about to make Michael real, y'all. I was like, Mike, I could tell you've been out in Hollywood too long, man.
Who's bad?
Right, talking about who's bad. No, this is what I teased him with. I said, the first thing that struck me, that surprised me about him. You want to know what it was? When I saw him in person, how thin he was. Michael.
He's kind of tall too, right?
No, he was shorter than me, y'all.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Michael was
I don't
this
know why
big.
I always thought he was tall.
Michael was this
He
big.
looks tall, and maybe because he's so thin.
Right.
Yeah.
Michael's this big.
Wow.
In fact, some people couldn't believe. If you Google how tall is Michael Jackson, it comes up 5'8".
Oh.
Because we did this one time.
yes,
Somebody's like,
yes.
"No, Michael was taller than you, Matt." I'm like, "Go ahead, Google it." The only Jackson that was taller than me, and I was around
Jackie?
all of them, was Jackie, Jermaine, and I were probably about the same height. He might have been a little taller than me.
Okay.
And everybody else was shorter than me.
Yeah.
Right. No question about it. Even though I was wearing 6-inch heels. I'm just playing. Those were in my drag days.
Your platform. That's what I was gonna say.
But he was this big, man.
Wow.
I'm not kidding you, man. And like my first move would have been like, dude, we gotta go to Fat Burgers or something, you know.
It's the dancing, right?
I'm sure, like between I
His
think.
diet.
Well, people were also just thinner back then, right? No bottomless brunch, no Uber Eats,
Right.
all the things that are
Right.
encouraging the big backery.
Did you say no bottom? You said no bottomless
No
brunch.
bottomless brunch.
Okay.
Look, those mimosas will do you in. We had to let that go years ago.
Lumila, tell me about your career.
All right, so I'm born and raised in Chicago. Chicago's like my city.
Okay.
Born same day as Chicago was incorporated, March 4th.
I was like, oh, wow.
My fellow Pisces.
Yes,
I'm March
all right.
20th.
Okay.
So you
you're
are
right on the
Chicago.
cusp. Yeah, I am
Yes.
Chicago. And Chicago, its first resident was Haitian. I'm Haitian.
Yes, okay,
So,
nice.
yes, I'm a Caribbean girl with
There
a
you go.
Russian name.
Oh, there you go.
Yes, and I got my start actually in radio and television in Houston. I was hosting a Caribbean radio and television show there, and I've always wanted to do music and act and those kind of things. So I did a little bit of acting here and there. Here, I moved to LA for a couple years, did some acting out there, and I was in Atlanta for a little while, recorded my album, and now I'm back here in Chicago.
So out of the 3 cities, LA, Chicago, and Atlanta, which one do you like the most?
Oh, I would say LA. And I lived in Houston twice.
Oh,
So
I forgot Houston.
I lived in like a lot of the cute little major cities. So I like between Houston and LA. I'll give it those two.
No love for the hometown.
I love Chicago. You know, the funniest thing is that I'm always back. Every time I leave a city, I always come back home. And I couldn't come back here for like
Now,
a stretch.
Haley, where have you lived?
I have lived in D.C., New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago.
And your favorite?
Chicago.
I mean, really, honestly, it is.
Really, honestly, Chicago. I also equally love New York, but for different ways. But Chicago is home for me as well.
Well, that's
I'm
why.
back, but I like to say that I think I would love Chicago even if I wasn't from here.
Nice.
That's how much I love Chicago. But I love Chicago. I love New York.
All right. Charlotte, where have you lived?
Much less. Very briefly in DC and really California, Los Angeles.
It's been it.
But she's from the Bay. Like she's from Oakland,
Like where in the
San
Bay Area?
Francisco.
Oakland, Oaktown.
Yeah, so I was born.
So I lived on 20. My address was 2210 10th Street in Berkeley. So I lived for a year in the Bay Area in Berkeley. I lived right off of San Pablo and University, I believe it was, right? Or Shattuck. Where's Shattuck? One of them is more. Shattuck might have been more downtown. No, this was San Pablo and you know University.
Yes.
Right. So I lived right off of University. I went to Laney College.
Okay.
Right in Oakland.
Yeah.
And I had a good time in the Bay Area. Yeah.
Great.
Great area.
Amazing
But I did prefer LA though.
Okay.
I prefer LA. I mean,
Is your mic on tap it?
You're not. I think you need to talk more direct
into it?
to the
There
front.
you
Yeah,
go.
there we go.
Okay, yeah, I would say I definitely prefer LA. Obviously work related, but it's hard to beat. I do think it has a little bit of everything. I do think it is. You can find, especially as an artist, you can find anything that you're looking for, and I think that is important.
What you mean in LA?
In LA, yeah.
But a lot of people. I hear a lot of people are leaving. LA, man. That LA people are
I actually
just.
think LA has a high retention
I was gonna say
rate.
people come and they don't leave.
I think people come and don't leave, or I think I was quite impressed at how many people, like, especially early years in the past, following like those early post-undergraduate years, how many people had left and came right back, and then have stayed and like don't make plans to leave. I don't know. I also feel like. Generally, like there's so many obviously people who aren't from LA who are there, but I feel like the retention rate in LA is actually very high, especially from natives.
I should have stayed.
Yeah.
And I think people come and I have several people I know who are not from LA have come, and then once, especially if they have partners already, it's very easy to get comfortable and build a family and a life. I mean, obviously the weather is fantastic. That makes things a lot easier in life. Like not having to deal with that.
Yeah.
Not that I've ever really dealt with it.
But are we in agreement that L.A. Hollywood puts this pressure, especially on women, when it comes to their physicality? Because, and I'm gonna look at Kerry Washington has lost a lot of weight. She's thin. I look good. Don't get me wrong now, but Kerry was fine when she was in Scandal, but no, wait a minute. Even before Scandal.
Yeah, she had some.
Save the Last Day.
Early days.
No, what was the movie that Spike Lee did?
Well, Spike Lee, I thought it was
She Hate Me.
Oh yeah.
Was she in She Hate Me?
I thought it was I Think I Love My Wife.
What was
right? She was the mistress.
No. What was the movie where the brother was all the women wanted to get pregnant by him? That was She Hate Me.
She Hate Me. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Carrie was in that.
She was in there.
Okay.
Yep.
Bam, bam.
Yes.
Black men were like, now that's a black woman. That's
Carrie is beautiful though. I mean, like
but the point I'm making, if you'd have saw her and She Hate Me, it'd be like, don't do anything else.
Yeah.
You are perfect. So I think Hollywood made her now the slimmer version of who she was. Right?
There's a little pressure there. There's a little pressure
and
there.
Issa Rae. Issa was not as skinny as she is now.
Yeah, she was really tiny. I think you have to consider, is it the pressure, but also it's like, you start making more money, you start having these things, now you can eat better food.
Right. You got the personal chef, you got the personal trainer.
That's right.
And you got to show up on a red carpet every other day.
So now you get into the other part of it, which is why why I think Dr. Donda West is not with us anymore, Kanye's mom, why she's not with us anymore, right? Because I think, did you guys see the documentary, Kanye's documentary?
No. Yes. The
It's
Genius,
amazing.
the most recent one? Genius?
Isn't that killer?
Yeah, that was really good. It was
Man,
really,
you gotta watch this
it was really
documentary
good.
because it's done basically. It's showing all of this early footage of the beginning of his
Actually,
career.
you know what? It was a long time ago.
It was a long time
Yes,
ago.
I did see that.
His mother is with him
Yes,
every part
I
of
did
his
see
journey.
that. Yes, I watched that documentary.
His mother, Dr. West, is with him so much that
Yeah.
she's rapping back to him
Right.
his rhymes,
Yeah.
killing it, right?
Yeah.
And she lived here in Chicago. I've interviewed Dr. West before
Yeah.
when she was at Chicago State.
Yeah.
And it's interesting, as I watched the documentary, I kind of felt like, and for the first time, she was trying to fit into Kanye's world. Up until that point, she was getting Kanye into her world, being Black power, Black excellence, Black conscientious. You know what I'm saying?
But his career
She
took
was
off in such a way
his
that
career-
his world
but she
was
prepared-
the world.
She was expecting that, though.
Right.
There's a video of Kanye when he was like 11 and he's rapping in the documentary, and they had a family gathering, and you could hear his mom in the background. Doing Kanye, doing. She is in
knew.
his body
She
the
did.
entire journey, right? Check it out. She started. You know what I think happened? One of you guys said this earlier. She started seeing herself on the red carpet.
Yeah.
She started seeing these video clips
Yeah.
of her in the
Lots of
red carpet.
pictures. Yeah.
And she's like, "Damn, I need to.
Yeah.
I need to tighten up a little bit." And guess what she does?
Right.
She
It's-
gets all this
right.
surgery done at one time.
And that's what we were talking about even with Michael, right? Like,
And with
it's
Michael.
more than just whatever personal thoughts and feelings you have, psychological struggles you might be having, trauma, links, right? But then also you have the resources, you have the access, you have the time. And especially from a celebrity perspective, it's commonplace. So all the people that you're in community with, not only are they having probably similar types of services or surgeries, but they've got a recommendation for you on tap.
Right.
Right? So
Well,
it's exposure.
but-
What
yeah,
is
but
normal
a big
to
part
them
of-
is not normal
But
to
isn't
us.
a big part of the self-esteem, though, too?
I think
That
so.
is a
I think so.
piece
It's
of the
it.
pie.
Yeah, I
It is
think
only
so.
a piece.
Yeah, because you have
in
to be
my
comfortable
opinion.
in your body. Now, I can tell you, when I moved to LA, I was so thin.
Oh my gosh, this
But-
was Charlotte and I's joke.
But I was so thin. But I'm vegan, and LA is the best and worst place to be a vegan because you can eat everything. So I gained so much weight. And then it wasn't until I couldn't fit
Why? Because
like
they have so many vegan options?
So many vegan options.
Is that right?
So many.
So
And-
vegan restaurants everywhere.
Oh my God, every corner.
Or if on the menu, like even if it's not a vegan
there's
restaurant,
vegan
there's an
options.
option for
Yeah,
it.
there's options.
Yeah, we got
So-
vegan
and I mean,
Chicago
I
deep
ate.
dish pizza.
I ate.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it wasn't
you know
until
where-
I could not fit my jeans.
That
And
you
I
were
said,
like,
wait
uh-oh.
a minute. And
All
I
right.
started.
Hold that thought. Let's break. We'll be back, and we'll talk to Lamila more about her career and everything else on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
Hey, baby. I'm your Magnolia Blues man, Sir Henry Cheatham, inviting you to join us on WVON 1690 for some real American music and culture. Here on Classic Blues and R&B. Check us out Saturday, 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. on WVON and Classic Blues and R&B.
Ada S. McKinley has a fantastic early learning and childcare program for kids from birth to age 5. Give your child a strong start. Quality childcare at 13 locations. Free and affordable options. Full days that are convenient for parents. Home-based services for expectant moms and their kids. And they welcome children with disabilities. Limited space available. Enroll now. Call 773-780-0050 or visit adasmckinley.org.
Hey everybody, this is Kendall Moore, the Kendall Moore Show, getting you from your work week to your weekend each and every Friday night from 6 until 9 p.m. I get you from your work week to your weekend. Church, tabernacle.
Kendall Moore, radio for the next generation on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 AM, WVON.
Hi,
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley, inviting you to join me weekdays from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. right here on WVON. I am bringing you a national perspective on all the happenings in the black community and, of course, politics. It's talk radio for us, by us, and this is where America listens.
It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays from 6 to 9 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON. Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
We just wanna have fun. 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 We just wanna have
I like that.
This is nice.
What you think, Haley?
I think it's perfect. I think it's just what I would want to hear with the girls.
Okay, it's nice
A
and
nice,
mellow.
relaxed, right? An R&B vibe.
It's got it.
We're never mad at that.
Well, it's got a little Caribbean vibe to it.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So,
right?
did your Haitian background inspire some of the sound in your music?
Yes, it did. There's a song on my album called "Don't Tempt Me." That one also has like a more Caribbean vibe as well. But Queens Just Want to Have Fun definitely has that little vibe, and just wanted to do that. Like, I used to host Caribbean radio and television, so I'm used to like listening to reggae music, Afro beats, and I wanted to maybe incorporate that into this project.
So the name of the album is 5G.
5G.
How'd you come up with that title?
So I started recording this album in 2021, believe it or not. In 2021, so during the pandemic, everything was like 5G, the towers and COVID and this, that, and the other. And there are 5 songs on the album. So I wanted to just do something that like made it incorporate with that. And then also with, the G, I wanted to make it like good, great, goddess, all of the good G words that I could think of. And then I have 5 interludes on the album as well, where you can, show them a little bit of my comedic side in my writing. And so I just wanted to title it 5G because of everything that was going on in the world at that time.
And so your next album is 5G, the experience, or Behind the Muse, the 5G experience. So is it going to compound on what you just explained as this kind of deeper 5G meaning?
So that is actually the Behind the Muse is a listening experience that we're having. Okay. So it's where we can listen to the album. I can bringing a collective of people to come together, listen to the album, because the project is really a movie. So from start to finish, speaking of Michael Jackson, I was inspired by Michael Jackson's was the movie Smooth Criminal, but that movie, that whole movie, that was a short film. It was
See, I would have made it a long film if I was there with Michael.
Right. Yes. So I wanted to make 5G just like that. So from start to finish, it tells a story, and all of the songs too, including like all of them have something to do with like technology, the dating world that we live in today. So that was another reason why I called it like 5G as well, because it's like what we're dealing with today and today's society.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So the 5G experience is a listening event. We're going to listen to the songs, go through the songs, talk about what I was going through when I was writing the songs. We're going to show some of the clips that are in the movie. The film is not done yet, but that is the goal, to get the film done. So I'm showing some of the clips and just getting people, interested in just remembering that the album is still out there.
So Charlotte, what would you say if you're going to make a film? What would you say are like some of the, like, you got to consider these things before you even think about filmmaking? Money, of course. Budget.
I was just say money.
Budget, right?
I mean, honestly, if you were trying to make a film on the topic of money, I would say write or create to a budget, right? If you have, like, I know I only have $10,000, do not put a scene or whatever it is or effects that are going to cost you 10 grand or location. Like, you're not going to an island if you have 10 grand, right? You're going to stay local, right? Thinking of those constraints. And also you have to be very creative. You can make a film for a low budget. You just have to be incredibly creative. It helps to have a big community of other artists that you can rely on. I have several friends that are DPs or they're writers or they're editors, and it's like, sometimes it's a favor. Like, I'll do a favor for you on this one, you do a favor for me on the next kind of thing, right? And so, I think having that community to support you is super important. I mean, a strong team, obviously, I think is will make or break a film. I think being able to like have that a very tight team of people and that support is probably the most important thing.
Let me ask you this. All right, I'm gonna ask you a controversial question. All right, as a film, both of you guys, as you, when you see the end credits on a movie, right? There's a lot going on there. Key grip, first grip, unit publicist, the whole thing. You see all of these things, even on a television show, right? When a late night show goes off the air with Jimmy Fallon, I'm looking at all these credits, right? Those are all people with salaries that have to factor into the budget, right?
Yeah.
Is there a way to make things without having to have all of those people involved? And I'm asking this, and I understand the power of our unions, organized labor unions, right? So trust me, when we do stuff over it, look, you and I were at McCormick Place, and trust me when I tell you, we put up our table and stuff on our own because we were there after hours. But if we would have been there during business hours,
right,
the Teamsters or somebody would have been like, you cannot put that table up.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking about, we do that, and it's going to cost $750.
Right.
I'm in a union, so I get the power of the union, and I understand that. But a lot of it is bull crap, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, is there a way to streamline making films where you don't have to have a key grip? First this, first that, da-da-da, boom, boom, bang, bang. And now I see why the damn movie costs so much money.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say so. Firstly, right.
Hold that thought. Hold that answer. And answer it when we come back on the Matt McGill Show. We're going to do a little overtime. Can you guys hang for some overtime?
Yes.
All right, because they're running a little late with the broadcast. At Kodo, we're doing a live broadcast afternoon show at Kodo. Hibachi Grill. They're going to be getting some good food, but as they get set up out there, we'll do another segment or two when we return on the Matt McGill Show.
Good afternoon, Chicago. We're almost at Friday. I'm Logan Page, and here are your news headlines. Illinois Democrat appeals conviction. CPS budget vote underway at Chicago headquarters. WNBA declines to punish Beckers. Reese over wager, and Usher seemingly responds to fan who curved him on stage. National news from the Black Information Network is up next on Chicago's only urban talk radio station, 1690 AM, WVON, Berwyn, Chicago.
Has recorded 38 heat-related deaths so far this summer. That's 2 more than last year's total of 36. The Maryland Department of Health says the recent heat wave with temperatures reaching more than 100 degrees contributed to the number of deaths. Reports indicate Iran is receiving up to 400 handheld missile launchers from China. Reuters says Iran purchased shoulder-fired air defense systems along with Chinese missiles for about $70 million. They're expected to receive the first shipment within weeks. However, China's foreign ministry calls the report completely groundless. And R&B singer Ciara announced she's giving $50,000 to 10 different groups that play important roles in the development of youth. Those include the Atlanta Music Project, SCAD, and the Black Entertainment and Sports Lawyer Association. I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News. Now, back to you, Terry.
President Trump is pretty tight-lipped about whether Dr. Anthony Fauci should face a contempt of Congress vote in the Senate. Republican Senator Rand Paul said the Homeland Security Committee is voting on a contempt resolution against Fauci next week after he invoked the Fifth Amendment. In a COVID-19 hearing, Trump was asked about the vote, but would only say Fauci didn't do him any favors in the early days of the pandemic. Meanwhile, Trump discussing retaliatory strikes against Iran.
They know it's coming. They're asking us not to do it, but, they tried shooting it last night.
While speaking with reporters in the Oval Office, Trump was asked about Iran's ballistic missile attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. U.S. Central Command said all of the missiles were successfully intercepted. Trump said the U.S. is set to hit Iran very hard in response. Trump said Iran knows it's coming, adding it's our turn. Trump again held out hope that diplomatic efforts will prevail. Black Republican Congressman John James is running to become Michigan's next governor. James is campaigning across the state and talked about being called to the stage by President Trump during his visit to the GM Proving Ground in Milford.
But he endorsed me because he knows I've got the best chance to beat Secretary Jocelyn Benson in November and help Republicans hold Michigan House and take back the Senate. And having a relationship with the president like I have is going to help us all, the entire state, all 10 million of us.
James making campaign stops over the weekend in Grand Rapids, Holland, Hudsonville, Muskegon, and Zeeland. The Democratic candidates for governor are Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson and Genesee County Sheriff Chris Swanson. Sean Combs' release date has been moved up again. The music mogul's release from jail has been moved to January 24th of 2028. This is a month earlier than his previously expected release of February 23rd. Combs was previously sentenced to 50 months behind bars after his conviction on 2 prostitution charges back in October of 2025. His first release was originally scheduled for June of 2028. It all comes after Diddy was involved in a prison fight last week that ended with him in solitary confinement. The United Nations Security Council is unanimously adopting a resolution extending sanctions against armed militias and individuals operating in the Central African Republic. The action targets asset freezes, travel bans, and restrictions on supplying weapons and military equipment to armed groups. Council members are warning that armed groups and cross-border arms networks are a threat to stability, especially along border regions. The Central African Republic's ambassador to the UN is questioning how armed groups are consistently finding weapons despite the sanctions. Stay informed, stay connected, and subscribe. Follow BIN News this hour wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Terry McCready for the Black Information Network.
Tuned in to your favorite WVON personalities on Facebook Live? Don't just watch, like it, love it, share it. Every click helps us grow the conversation and keep the community strong. So remember, like it, love it, share it, Chicago.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
It's time to focus with Robert McKay. Quality conversation, protecting, preserving, and preparing our past, present, and future. Sunday evenings at 4 p.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
This report is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Those people are probably saving a carload of cash right now. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown on 95th. Stop and go traffic, and please be cautious. There is an accident on the right shoulder. Dan Ryan past 87th Street, 23 minutes. I-57 right, I-80. The accident has cleared I-57 at 127th Street, and there is an accident on the left shoulder, I-57 at 111th Street. 18 minutes. Bishop Ford, Ryan, I-80, 94, slow go, 15 minutes. Stevenson, DuSable, Lakeshore Drive. To the Tri-State, stop and go traffic, 40 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolfto Post Office. Stop and go traffic, 35 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, is at a snail speed, 43 minutes. And Edens, Montrose Cook, smooth sailing, 16 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago. Warm, dry, high of 87 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, nighttime showers, high of 82 and a low of 68. It's currently 87 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk of Chicago, WVON 1690 AM.
Live from the Xfinity Studios, it's the station that America listens to. WVON, Berlin, Chicago. It's Matt McGill on Chicago's essential storyteller, WVON.
Free ladies, 'cause queens just wanna have fun, 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 fun. We just wanna have fun, 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 fun. Queens just wanna have.
All right, we're back with an extended Matt McGill hour. We are going to be tossing to our next hour broadcast at Kodo, but we're running a little bit late, so we've got more time here with Matt McGill, and we've got Ludmila Muse, our artist, filmmaker, musician extraordinaire, and the brilliant Charlotte Markoulis, filmmaker and producer. We are here talking about Ludmila's musical album, 5G, and she's introducing us to the 5G experience, which is a specific listening experience she's hosting here in Chicago on August 8th. Ludmila, tell us about how people can get involved, what they can expect if they show up for you to celebrate and dive in on that awesome album.
Yes, thank you so much. So you guys can expect to hear the entire album from start to finish. I may perform one or two songs. You may get a little surprise out of that. You'll see some of my artwork, some of the visuals behind the music and the film. And I have this really big Bob Marley painting that I painted, and it's going in the film, but it will be there as well. So you'll get to see a little bit of my artwork as well. And some of the clips from behind the scenes of everything that I went through, going through the album, like recording, and some classes that I was taking. I'm keeping that still on the low for everybody. But yeah, it's an immersive experience. You'll get to hear more about me. And like I said, what I was going through during that album and from start to finish. I created the album with Bilal Abdul Samad from the group The Boys, if you guys remember The Boys. So he produced the album for me. And, I'll talk about more in depth about that whole process as well.
And how can folks get involved? Do they need tickets? Is there a registration? How do they get there?
Yeah, so if you all follow me everywhere, I'm Ludmila Muse everywhere. That's LUDMILLA MUSE. That's everywhere. Socialmedia.com, at Gmail, LudmilaMuse.com, like I said. If you follow me, the tickets are available online. There is a ticket code. It's like a 2020 collective because it's a nice creative space where the event is taking place at, Black owned on the south side of Chicago.
Nice, we love that.
Right, nice space. And it is at the 2020 collective. So if you check out there, the tickets are there as well.
On their site.
They're on their site, and I would love to give some tickets away as well.
Awesome.
All right, now this just in, according to Tony Snow on the Matt McGill Show, this exclusive, Michael Jackson's chimp Bubbles, the chimp, is in a defamation lawsuit against Jermaine Jackson. We'll keep you up to date on those details. as they come clear to us.
Is he serious?
No, he's
Tony
Snow is.
Look, I don't
monkeys
know.
can have defamation suits.
Okay, but
Tony is never
respectfully,
serious.
that's Michael Jackson's monkey. He could have a whole estate, and we wouldn't know about it.
Tony is never serious on it. Wait, so you know, here's another thing that's funny. You know how black people we're always talking about, you know, people that are black. So you were saying you're saying J. Edgar Hoover.
Correct. Oh, yeah. Right. We were talking about black icons or historical black figures that I think we were focusing on more white passing.
Right.
Or folks that people didn't
They
know
have
had
some
black
white blood.
history or some white blood or who, well, two different, because Bill brought up Barack Obama passed.
Right.
But we were getting into people that we really didn't know were or had some black blood or
Abe
family
Lincoln.
legacy.
And so you said J. Edgar Hoover.
Abe Lincoln. You know what? I have kind of
People have said that.
that.
People have said that.
You know.
When I was a kid, we our school at St. Francis de Paula, we had these books that were called Color Me Brown, and it was to kind of build our pride and so it would have a like a image of like Booker T. Washington or somebody, and we would take our brown crayon and just color them brown, right? and it was a way of us kind of identifying with our skin color and all of that stuff. And somehow I think I remember they had a picture of Abe Lincoln in there. And we were all coloring Abe Lincoln brown. And I remember as a kid, to the point that you just made, Lamila, I remember as a kid, for a minute, I thought Abe Lincoln was black. I'm not kidding you, man. I think because we had such favorable thoughts about Abe Lincoln freed the slaves, that for a young brain at 4 or 5 years old, when somebody's talking so favorably, especially, because when we grew up, man, this was like the post-civil rights movement, so there was a lot of like black
power
pride going on.
Absolutely.
I mean, a 4-year-old me thought Abe Lincoln was black, y'all.
Right.
I'm not kidding. I was coloring him black and my brown coloring
That
brown.
doesn't surprise me.
In my book there, man. Thought he was black, man.
And they put him on the copper penny.
That's
they put him on the
true.
penny.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Tell us something.
In coin, right. In coin, he
Okay.
is brown. Right.
That's hilarious. So just to add on to everybody's got some black in them. Somebody put up here Bruce Lee is black.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. Maybe now we're going off the rails. Bruce Lee.
Oh my
Hold
goodness.
on.
Bruce Leroy.
Right.
All right, look at your
Right,
mom.
what my mom say. Pope Leo, yes. People do talk about Pope Leo because his family is supposedly has Creole heritage, which we know is obviously very blended and very rooted in African ancestry.
Boy, I tell you what, man, Pope Leo, we gonna wear him out on being
We
black.
love Pope Leo.
Boy, they gonna be somebody gonna bust him out. It hasn't happened yet, but somebody gonna be out. Are you black, Pope Leo? Can we write? It's gonna be Donald Trump. Can we see your birth certificate?
Right. Oh, please.
See, now I'm starting some stuff, right? Damn, what is on Pope Leo's birth certificate?
Well, there's no race on birth certificate.
No, mine
There
says
is?
Negro. Mine says Negro.
Wow.
You guys don't have it on your birth certificate?
I don't believe my birth certificate says Negro, but maybe I should check.
Yeah, I don't think mine
haven't
says. I
seen
know
it.
that it shows where my parents are from.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
mine
The
shows, where my
country,
parents-
but
Right, like it
doesn't
usually
show.
has the city,
Yeah.
like where your parents were born, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
Mine
but
says
also I
Negro.
haven't examined my birth certificate in detail in a long time,
Uh-huh.
so maybe I should take a look.
Mine says
Same.
Negro. You can go. You can go
That's so
to
interesting, man.
Recorder of Deed. Wait a minute. Where do you
Vital
go get your
statistics.
birth certificate? But
The
you can
vital
get.
records.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
get. Yeah, you can get a new birth certificate. A more
Yeah, you
recent
gotta
version.
go through the
through
court.
the process and all
Yeah.
that stuff. But mine says Negro.
Joel Osteen is.
See,
Lord.
Tony Snow.
Tony's been making jokes all day.
All
Tony's keeping
day.
us entertained.
Play all day. All right. He says I'm a key grip for OnlyFans.
All right.
Tony's gonna get suspended.
I know, right? Tony, you're on time.
What does a key grip do? What does a key grip do, Charlotte?
Yeah, what does it? Yeah.
Okay, so when you're on the set, right? People who are the gaffers are people who move your stuff, and the grips are the people who help the DP find the light, get the light. So if you're like, oh, we want to make it really dark and moody, right?
Mm-hmm.
They are going to give you recommendations along with that DP, the director of photography, camera person.
I love that I kind of knew it had something to do with lighting.
But yeah, they're the people helping to get that lighting, that stuff set up.
Yeah, the DP is really the man though, or woman.
Yeah,
because the photography is everything, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I mean that there, of course, like the director has an influence, right? Like the director has a vision of like this is what I'm going for, and that process can be very collaborative. Some directors are like, I don't know at all, and then the director of photography is like, okay, well here's what I'm thinking. But oftentimes the director will have a vision of what they're going for in a scene, and then the DP is like, okay, here's how we can
how you can do that, make that happen. Have you guys seen the movie Boogie Nights?
With Mark Wahlberg?
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
That is a kick-ass movie.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked that is because even though it's about in theme, it's about the porn industry. It's a historic moment, kind of depicting the life and times of John Holmes, who was a porn star. Mark Wahlberg is kind of unofficially playing this role of John Holmes. Yeah. But what's interesting about it is how they were shooting in film, right? And so the one guy is like the director, the DP, right? And it's some industry talk that goes on in that film that I found kind of interesting, right? He's like, hey man, I'm just talking about the photography. Like, hey, okay, never mind me. I'm just talking about the photography. Then if you want to ignore me, and he's making the point that, all right, blow me off. I'm just the director of photography, right? Absolutely. The most important person that kind of makes this vision actually happen. But you talk about a kick butt movie though, and a lot of people, if you haven't seen this movie, it's really an interesting movie. The cast: Mark Wahlberg, Don Cheadle.
Woody Harrelson's in that, right?
Is that
no, not Woody Harrelson. Hold on,
that's not Four Brothers. No.
No, hold on. We gonna.
I know it's one of who's it? Paul Thomas Anderson's.
It's one of his first
directed
films.
by Paul Thomas Anderson. But who else is it?
I feel like I know exactly what you're talking about, but I'm like, what is the title?
What's the guy that plays alongside Will Ferrell in Talladega Nights?
Yeah, I don't know.
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. What's the actor that a very good actor that died overdosing on heroin or something in New York?
I know you're talking.
Who was on The Wire? Is that what you're talking about?
No,
No.
not
That
the
was
black guy.
fentanyl, not
You're
Michael.
the white guy.
Chubby white guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I'm blanking on his name.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I
know exactly what you're talking
Hold
about.
on, let me just pull up the cast.
I know exactly what you're talking
But when this cast was absolutely Nicole Ari Parker, y'all know who that is?
Of course.
From Soul Food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's in this movie. I mean, it really does a fascinating job. Hold on, because I have this thing, guys.
It's Nicole Ari Parker and Mark Wahlberg in the same movie?
Hey, guys, I have this thing called ChatGPT.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Philip Seymour Hoffman
Yes.
is in this movie, guys.
William Macy.
William Macy.
Macy.
Wait, Burt Reynolds plays the hell out of his role in this movie, right? The other actress that's the lead, a female actress in it. Hold on.
Which I was like, there's a couple. It looks like
Julianne Moore
and Heather Graham.
Yeah. You're talking about an ensemble
it's a wonderful
here.
movie.
You've got the right ones in today, Matt, because that was a lot of names, and you all made that look really easy.
but guys, you have got to see the role that Philip Seymour Hoffman plays in this movie. Of course, he killed every role that he ever did.
100%.
If you want to talk about range, think about Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Totally.
Think about him in the James Bond movie where he kind of plays this villain, right? And then in this movie, he plays this young, chubby, white, gay boom guy that's holding the microphone up, and he's like, his heart is fluttering and pattering about Mark Wahlberg. He's got a crush on him in the movie, but it is just, in terms of cinematography.
I need to go refresh on that.
The cast, the script, the direction, Everything in this movie, man, just hits her. All right, let's take another break. We're going to be going live as soon as they get set up, guys, at Kodo. There's a live broadcast for the grand opening of Kodo Hibachi Bar on the south side. LaDonna Ray is Ken Duncan with them as well. Ken Duncan is with LaDonna Ray. And they're just having some little technical difficulties out there. As soon as we get up and going, we'll go straight to them, and we'll take a quick break here on the Matt McGill Show.
More from Matt McGill coming up on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
In July, VON TV has your summer watch list covered. Go behind the headlines with the official launch of Portraits in Color, featuring candid conversations with music executive Matthew Knowles, community leader Jotaka Edie, and actress Danielle Truitt.
My family's very proud. It was very cool to, when the show first came out and to see myself in those credits, with dun 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 dun, and be like, that's me. That's crazy, It is very cool to be a part of the legacy of Law and Order now.
And that's just the beginning. Premiering this month, Serenity, Strength, and Style with Sylvia Ewing and Friends, a fresh new series featuring inspiring conversations about health, wellness, creativity, and living life to the fullest. This July, there's something for everyone on VON TV. Watch on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV Plus, the WVON app, or at VON.tv. VON TV, for the culture, by the culture.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-478-6430 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-478-6430. That's 800-478-6430. What do you have to lose? Call 800-478-6430. Again, 800-478-6430.
It's Rufus Williams. Every weekday morning from 7 to 9, I break down what's really going on, politics, power, and the people shaping our communities. Think of it like your morning newspaper, headlines, context, and what it actually means, so you can take it in, sit with it, and move smarter through your day. If you're part of the Roo Crew, you already know. And if you're watching on Facebook Live, the comments are a whole other show. A family reunion happening in real time. Listen live or on the WVON app, or join us on Facebook Live. It's the Rufus Williams Show, weekdays 7 to 9, right here on 1690 WVON.
This is your host and life coach, Linnell Harris, and I want you to join me every Sunday morning from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. for Inspirational Perspective. On Inspirational Perspective, we talk life vision, life purpose, and the show is all about helping you live the best life possible. So join me as we look at supporting you in living the life you intend to live and making your life's vision a reality. Every Sunday morning at 7 a.m. on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 a.m. WVON.
This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com. Grinding and squealing are signs it's time for new brakes. Skip the hassle of searching for the right parts and shop RockAuto.com. Find trusted name brand parts at lower prices and have them shipped directly to your door. All the parts your car will ever need. Rock Auto.
WVON traffic and weather now.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here is your traffic update. Dan Ryan, downtown at 95th. There is some stop-and-go traffic, and please be cautious. There is an accident causing the right lane to be blocked in Ryan at Roosevelt Road. 22 minutes, and also be careful because there was an earlier accident in Ryan past 87th Street causing slow traffic from Chicago Skyway. I-57 Ryan to I-80. There was an earlier accident causing slow traffic from Bishop Ford. I-57 at 111th Street, 20 minutes. Bishop Ford Ryan to I-80 94, slow go, 17 minutes. Stevenson to Sambal Lakeshore Drive to the Tri-State stop and go traffic, 40 minutes. Eisenhower, Wolf to Post Office, stop and go traffic 38 minutes. Kennedy, downtown to O'Hare, stop and go traffic 45 minutes. And Edens, Montrose Cook, smooth sailing 17 minutes. Your weather for today, Chicago, warm and dry, high of 87 and a low of 68. Tomorrow, nighttime showers, high of 82 and a low of 68. It's currently 87 degrees and partly cloudy. That's your traffic and weather update now. I'm Logan Page on the Talk Chicago, WVON 1690 AM.
Now back to Matt McGill on the Talk of Chicago, 1690 WVON.
All right, how about this little George Benson and Breezin'?
Yep.
Dun, dun. Oh, this was a classic
Add
song.
this to our summer sounds.
We were talking about that,
playlist.
right?
Yes.
This is absolutely
This is
a summer.
absolutely summer sound.
Yep. We did, Haley and I did a segment where we talking about, all right, summer songs.
Yep.
What are they? This is absolutely
Yep.
one, man.
Mhm.
That album was, that Breezin' album, I think it was a multi-Grammy award winning album, or at least nominated album.
Mm-hmm.
George Benson, who is a guitar player, and you hear him on this song. Known for that, but underrated as a singer. I don't know if a lot of people realize how good a singer he was, because he was just so much known for his guitar playing, man. And it's interesting how some people, their one skill overshadows another skill that they have.
Yeah.
Lamila Muse in the studio. She's got a new album, 5G. I was reading our rundown, and it was like, ask her about 5G. And I was like, oh, she's talking about technology.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's related.
What is this?
It's inspired.
What is this about? She's coming in to talk about 5G technology here.
What's your favorite song on the album?
Oh, my favorite song on the album is called Don't Tempt Me.
Okay. Tell us about it. Tell us what inspired.
Okay.
So, I have a very crazy sense of humor. And so, again, it's going off of what we deal with every day in technology when you're navigating your life. You deal with social media. People might be in your DMs like, hey, you're so pretty,
right,
or whatever. But they don't really, sometimes they don't follow up, It's just
Oh,
like,
yes.
you're pretty. Or
So
like
I
to
do
meet
know
you.
what you're talking about.
Right, So that song is kind of me talking my ish to the guys. Like, okay, well, don't tempt me. Like, come on, you're talking all this stuff, Like,
Right.
it sounds
Why
like a booty
bother if
call.
you're not gonna follow
if you're
through?
talking like a booty call, like, what's up, But I tell people this, my DMs are really dry, but it was just a whole joke of saying,
I'm not a DM guy. Obviously, my age probably. I'm old school in how I communicate. Is DM the way guys kind of hit up on you now?
Yeah.
Come up-
Look, concepts of hitting up on you, air quotes of hitting on you. It's getting honestly pretty pathetic, Matt. And the guys are now moving to nonverbal communications in the DMs.
What do you mean by that?
Emojis, and not initiated with a sentence, not followed by a sentence, just emojis. Or now there's a like feature on Instagram where you can like someone's stories. So some of the gentlemen believe that they're indicating interest based off of a like button, but really using our good old-fashioned words is far and few between these days.
So is it IG that people use the DM, getting in your DM? Is that the TikTok? What's the way?
It's usually when people are referring to DMs, it's usually Instagram.
Is that okay? It's Instagram.
Yeah.
All right. So our brothers like coming out, yo, what's up, girl? Let me get the, obviously they're not saying let me get that phone
Yeah,
number.
Ludmilla, what were they saying?
Because they don't need the phone number.
How were they tempting you?
They don't need the phone. Well, guys don't need the phone number if they in your DM, right?
Well, I feel like the opposite. They
What?
should have it.
They
Go
should
ahead.
ask, well, they'll try to call you through the DMs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they'll try to call. They'll double tap. So I say something like that in the
An
in the
actual
song.
phone call?
Yeah, they try.
I've
to
had people do
call.
that to me on Facebook, right?
Yes.
I'll look at my phone and it'll be like a Facebook
Messenger.
Right, a messenger call, right? I'm like,
Yes. They do. So it's
And
like the double tapping, the liking every story, the liking all of the like hearting and the emojis, but again, no follow through. It's just like all the like, and then if you see somebody in person, it's just like
all talk, no walk.
And that's what I say. If your talk has no walk, like I say that in the song.
Oh, I love
yeah,
it.
I say
See?
that.
It's a universal experience. This really is an
It
album for the girls,
really
Ludmilla,
is.
'cause we get
really
it.
is.
So let me ask you this: if a guy really doesn't have any game, right? He can easily get up in your DM in front like he's got some game, and then when you see him in person, he'd be like, "Oh, damn!"
Like avoiding eye contact.
Yeah,
I mean,
I can tell you, I went on a date with somebody. I met him prior to we following each other. I met him on a set. I was filming something, and then for like maybe 2 years, he just liked every story, liked every picture, all my posts, and then he finally asked me out, and I'm like, okay, so I'll go out with you.
Where'd you guys go?
We went to this immersive experience in Atlanta. It was when I was in Atlanta. It was like this music. I forget, Rolling Stone. They had a immersive experience, and it was so dope. And we went to a vegan restaurant afterwards.
So this was a guy from Atlanta. Was he from Atlanta?
He's from Atlanta. Yeah.
Was he wearing pumps?
Now, Matt, let's not generalize.
I heard the guys in Atlanta.
And see, this is why, because I'm wondering. Listen, Matt. I'm kind of.
I mean, we feel you, but
yeah.
I heard Morehouse had a problem with that.
Oh no, my son's saying to Morehouse.
No, we love you. We love Morehouse.
You go to that mall. What's it? Lenox Mall.
Lenox Mall. Oh man, yeah.
Brother.
Yeah.
But what happened after the immersive experience?
Well, hold on. You can tell us when we return on the afternoon show.
Good afternoon, Chicago. I'm Logan Page, and here it's happening in your local and national news. A former Illinois House Speaker is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to review his corruption conviction. Michael Madigan was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison. He argues jurors received improper instructions and that the evidence against him did not prove a crime was committed. Prosecutors say Madigan used his political influence to benefit himself and allies, including a scheme involving Commonwealth Edison that allegedly funneled millions of dollars to his associates. The Supreme Court will decide whether to take up the case after its summer recess, but the justices reject appeals they receive. In other news, a vote for a CPS budget is taking place at CPS headquarters today in downtown Chicago. WVON's intern, Caleb Patton, has more.
Today, the CPS Board of Education is meeting to vote on a $10 billion spending plan. This comes after news of the district experiencing a $700 million budget deficit. The district says it will not be able to make payroll in September if the budget does not pass. CPS lunchroom workers and members of the teachers union were among the dozens marching outside Chicago Public School headquarters to protest. I took to the streets to capture the stories of these CPS workers. School teacher Ashley said she is over the constant battle year after year with no progress.
I'm tired of the same fight every single year. Every year is the same thing. Every year we don't have money. We have to cut teachers, and teachers are not sacrificial bodies. We are central to schools and communities. We are central to students. Every day we walk into spaces and teach kids how to be resilient and fight through trauma. Yet it's people who never have to stand in the classroom and face the consequences of cutting positions that get to make the decisions. And for me, that's no more.
Critics of the proposed budget say any layoffs and cuts will gut school services and create crowded classrooms, causing permanent harm to students. CPS CEO Dr. Macklin King said the upcoming school year could be in jeopardy if a budget isn't approved, essentially shutting down the district as staff and students are supposed to be returning to the classroom. Kayla Patton, Our News Now, 1690 WVON.
In other news, WNBA stars Paige Beckers and Angel Reese won't be punished by the league for a friendly wager that made its way to social media. A social media post between the Dallas Wings guard and Atlanta Dream forward hinted at a bet ahead of their team's meeting last night. The post was deleted shortly after, and WNBA officials said the post missed the mark and was addressed internally.